What are you
You want to know?
What are you saying?
Yeah, I will let everybody know in a second. Welcome to the Knicks Live Watch Party. New York got game style. Dexter Henry here for Game 6. Big game for the Knicks. I don't have to say that. Big game. They're up 3-2 in this series. They can advance to the conference finals with a win tonight. So big game. I know Knicks Nation is nervous. We'll find out if this guy next to me is nervous. Bryan Fonseca, my guy, is here with me as well.
sir.
And joining us in, I don't want to say it's the hot seat, because the last person that sat here when the Knicks tried to clinch the series, they were not successful. But this guy is here, despite many things going against him, for people who don't know. He is somebody who roots for the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh,
He roots for Tottenham Hotspur, and he also went to Syracuse. I still like him. Somehow, I still like him.
I don't know why you like this. I don't like you.
well, the Knicks is probably the
I'm
answer.
fine with not being liked. The Knicks, I guess, is the bond. From Knicks Film School, my guy, Shawn. What's good, my guy?
I'm good, man. And listen, to answer your question, I was just telling Bryan earlier about, I was like, how nervous are you? I'm a 1.
Yo, I like that.
I'm a 1.
I hopped on Knicks Fan TV, and there was some nervous energy in the chat I saw from some of the fan base.
Bro, there's nervous energy everywhere. Like
That's
Twitter,
This is fair.
Instagram,
when
Facebook.
you're not here a lot, you
Yeah.
know, like you're like, oh man, are they gonna actually?
But
you know?
here's my thing.
And you're
to
facing
that.
a team with high 3-point variance and a history of winning
Sure,
on the road.
but you would have wanted these days. If you would have signed for
Oh,
these
I
days.
agree.
In
I
2017.
agree. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
we were just talking about last episode, and just before we started, you know, Knicks from the 2000s.
Yes.
And if you want to go through some of those rosters, you know, like
Please no.
Yo, some of the names we was kicking around, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're- and it probably won't be the only time.
Time. I do want to say, because people probably heard us laughing before, as we started here, and they're wondering what were we laughing about. Yeah, I had to say some kind things to my producer Nikolai, who, let's be honest, decided to be an asshole right before the start. So what does he say in my ear right as he's counting down? Yankees are up on the Mets 3-0.
Yeah.
Why would you do that, Nikolai?
And they got the bases
Why?
loaded right now.
Why would you do that? Good vibes. Try to feel good.
That's good
And
vibes
you
for
got to
me.
do, of course, because you're a Yankees fan, and that's how y'all do. That's how you guys do. And you're out here encouraging Nikolai. And Nikolai, I don't even say your last name. I don't want the Mets fans to come for you here. Out here encouraging Nikolai. All right, so Shawn, no nervous energy for you.
No.
I gotta say, are you shocked the Knicks are where they are right now? Up 3-2 with a chance to close here on this Friday night?
Yes, I am. So it was funny. I was thinking about this yesterday. I think we would have been fine if the Knicks had lost to Boston in 6 and it was respectable. I would have signed for that. Going into this series, like 10 days ago, would have been like, all right, just don't embarrass us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I say all the time, happiness equals reality minus expectations. And so the expectations were like, just don't embarrass us. And then they win the first 2 games in a row. And now it's like, okay, well, now at this point, you better do it now.
Yeah.
You have to. You can't, it can't be, oh, we had a good season again. No. And that excludes the fact that Jason Tatum tore his Achilles. Prayers up to him. As someone who tore his Achilles, it's the worst.
Too.
It's the worst rehab.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah, like I'm happy to be here, but we didn't come this far just to come this far.
I like that mindset. This guy over here, after the Game 4 win,
I actually don't know where this is.
he's like, "Oh yeah, you going to the next round? You go to the Pacers." I'm like, one game at a time.
No,
Well, he's a 1 on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of nerves. I think Shawn would agree. Like,
No.
you know that. Look,
I would say I'm at like a 4 or 5, but for me, it's that like. I think when you're at a 4 or 5, it's that good nervousness.
it's gonna fluctuate during the game, though.
No, but you it's that you know the stakes of this and you like the feeling of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't think. I don't know if
I'm not a very nervous person ever
right.
about
But that's
anything.
what I
though.
tell you this all the time. I think you're an anomaly in this respect compared to a lot of Knicks fans, where I think a lot of Knicks fans are just nervous and they're like, "Yo, they better get this done, or else I'm going to send Tibbs to the airport or whatever it is." Like they're just, they're just on tilt right now. They're excited.
I don't
but
live in that space with
listen,
anything.
Let
but
let them shoot 2 for 10 in the first 6 minutes, and then you're going to hear them little garden murmurs
yes.
when it gets.
Yes. Listen,
Yeah.
if they, I don't know if we can curse on here, But
yeah, you can.
If they come out on bullshit, and it's like to your point, they're down 19 again in the first half, the Garden might turn on them. Because it's like, because you know what it is? Even though like we're all grateful to be here in this position, it's never the what is the how. It's like,
yes,
it's not that you lost game 5, it's how you lost game 5.
Okay, but here can I I'm not, this is not for you, just so I'm very clear, and this is not for you. But for those, because you're the one and you're neutral, so it's whatever.
But I'm a 1 for a different reason. I'll explain to you.
Okay, we're gonna get to that.
Yes.
For the people who are like at 7 and above.
Yeah.
For you folks who are 7 and above, what I would say is, if you watch game 1, if you watch game 2, and you watch game 4, why the hell are you at a 7? If you believe this team is great,
because they saw 3 and 5 is probably.
But
the
you've
answer.
seen 3 more times it's gone your way. Is my point. The numbers support more things going your way.
Here's the thing, and
there's no chance to say it.
But here's the thing. I tell my fiance this all the time. There's certain things where she'll be like, but this doesn't make sense or whatever, and I'm like, you're being too rational.
No, I feel like people are not being rational enough.
Right, but that's the thing. A lot of people are not being rational enough, but like that's how they're wired. How they're wired.
Yes.
Like that's how they're gonna act. Fanatics, people who are diehards. Like, ask anybody here. I'm sure that the majority of people are probably on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of nerves, like a 7, because they're all like, man, this team could shoot a lot of threes, send us back to game 7 in Boston, and
that's
then from
what
there,
the nerves are.
And then it's from there. It's like so. And this is also like, if you're a Celtics fan, this feels like house money. You got your ring, you're in, you forced this game 6, and if you win, you feel like, oh, this is coming back to Boston, we're good.
Yes.
Whereas you're a Knicks fan, you're like, we have not been to the conference finals in 25 years. They could mess this up even without Tatum, and then what's that going to mean for the future of this organization? Like they're going to think about the bad before they think about the good. So I think you're an anomaly in that respect. I think both of you are anomalies in that respect.
I guess, and I want to hear more about what you just.
But I think you're both going about it the right way. Now, check back at, we'll see how these first 6 minutes go.
Check back with me in 4 minutes.
Yes.
Check back with me in 4 minutes.
Let's have an idea. Let's guard Derek White. How about that?
That would be nice as we start this game. That would be nice.
Okay. Rebound.
Stop. I like a stop to start the game. By the way, we usually like to talk about our props. I did a outlier prop here. Josh Hart triple-double. Feels like a good night for that. Okay, Cat.
That was smart. Actually.
Yes, get him involved early.
Yeah.
Get him involved early.
He needs a big game. I also took him over 20 and a half points. I think he needs a big game.
I got Derek White 20 points, Peyton Pritchard 15 points, Jalen Brunson 30 points.
So oh God.
Not us off.
I took Al Horford under 1.5 threes, and
I wanted that.
Yeah, I wanted that Brunson.
You took Al Horford under 1.5
threes, and I took a parlay of Brunson 30 points and 7+ assists. Ooh,
like
that's out of bounds.
30 and 7. What'd you get for that?
Plus 290.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I like that. I like that parlay.
That's a lie. Hold on.
That's a great adjustment.
No, I mean
plus 202. Plus 202.
Yeah,
because I just
something.
took it now, like because now he's like minus 140 to score 30, which is insane for a 6-foot point guard. But whatever.
I mean, this was
that's a foul.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jalen Brown, for being over aggressive.
It's funny because this was what was happening during the playoffs last year. Was like, especially in the Pacers series, they kept putting it like 31 and a half.
Yeah, they kept
30 and a half because he kept getting it.
Yeah,
like it just
kept creeping
got
up
to a point as everyone else kept getting hurt around him. He was like, all right,
all right, run offense.
Drew on Cat again to start.
Yes.
Look, Cat's trying to seal him.
There we go.
Okay. This is I like the hey, it's not back to back buckets, but 2 buckets.
Yeah.
And I do like it.
Well, they don't have one yet.
Derek White not starting off high.
Same. I actually wanted to take his under, but his under was like under 4.5 threes because
his everything.
I think he's gonna shoot too.
Yeah, but the funny thing, I don't think he's gonna shoot very well from 3. Like
I don't know.
Need that. Oh, come on, OG.
He gets
the crowd's ready to erupt.
That's why I took the points and not the threes. The threes were too many.
OG needs to see one go in.
I like the help there.
Oh,
give me that.
That's credit OG, man. That was great help there.
Boston's not in sync at all.
Don't take that.
He
wanted to.
I wanted him to too.
Got him.
Got him.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh my
The Knicks
God.
are getting good looks.
They're
man.
getting good looks.
I love their offense. Foul on Hart. I like the looks.
Surprised how flat Boston is.
So, Shawn, explain to the people
Bad Bunny again.
why you are a 1
Oh boy.
on a scale of 1 to 10. Why were you
I'm a
in terms of nervousness?
because I think they're going to win this game because this is what they do. Because they win games they're not supposed to and lose games they're not supposed to. And they were not supposed to lose.
That is pretty a bunch of microcosm with the Knicks.
That's it. Yeah. That's why I was like, you know what? This is like I was like, they're gonna win. I said this to Jeff on. That's it. Yes.
Oh, he didn't call it double dribble.
I thought he called a double dribble.
Too. I thought he was gonna call a foul on Cat too for like pushing him a little bit.
But I was saying to Jeff on Casual Friday yesterday, I was like, they're gonna win. He's like, why? It's like, because it's what they do. This is what they do.
See, look here.
Oh, he lost it. Okay, he lost it.
Oh, he's saying he didn't control it.
Yeah. Okay.
But that does kind of look like this.
That straightaway 3. That's the one you don't want to take. And all the other ones, you're kind of like,
Is that Dolan right there with the hat on?
Yep.
Did you ever see that? It was him?
Yep.
Okay.
Certainly is.
Cat, you got to. I don't know if that's a cat. I don't know if that's on Cat, but it was nice. It was a nice out of bounds play.
That's where their OG. That's where their OG3, sucks because they hit that. That's a huge.
I'll be watching his hamstring today also.
Come on, Bridges.
I wonder where OG's at with the hamstring because we were looking at that last game, and it's like you could see he's not moving exactly the way he was in the regular season, and maybe that was affecting his shot too because he had a horrible shooting performance.
There we go.
Good D, the rebound.
I didn't think he was going to
push.
I like the pace.
That's a foul.
Block.
Yeah, that's a thank you.
Yeah. I like the pace they're playing with though to start this game. I would say that
he has to. Josh Hart has to push the pace when he off.
I completely agree. He's got to push the pace.
Oh man. Yeah, so that's why I'm a 1. I'm like,
I
know that doesn't mean that they're gonna win easily. I was like, I just think they're gonna win. So I'm like,
yo, it's crazy. I've never seen Drew Holiday talk as much as he has like this season.
Like talking trash,
no, talking to officials.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow, good hands.
See, what's problematic is that you had such a great start and now you're down because they couldn't hit shots.
The process was good.
Yeah,
it's like and Boston's is not at all, and it hasn't reflected in the score.
Gotta hit shots.
Cat.
See, they're running.
Cat.
Yes, he has them.
Oh, no call.
No call.
That's one where I think he's been crying for a lot of calls, but I thought he deserved one.
That one, yeah. Wow. All right.
Wow. You just hit circle, man.
Yeah.
You playing somebody in 2K, and he's like, God dang, you circle a whole bunch of times.
I'm bad you got the video game joke before I did. That's crazy. Their arms got like caught. Him. I thought it was gonna be on Drew because his arm got like caught in there.
Cat, gotta get up at the level, Cat. Good.
I'm forgetting, but who was I talking to before the game? One of our producers. Might have been Wes. And he was like, yo, I think it might be an under. Like, we're both teams just like struggle to score.
I thought the Celtics would struggle to score. Good D. Good
job by Cat. Cat actually got out there.
I could see this being 90-something. I didn't bet it, though.
This is the stretch, right? Because we got through these first 4 minutes. This is a stretch where I'm like, the Knicks have to push ahead because they don't. It's going to get some of that nervous energy in the crowd. Got him.
There we go.
Look at them pushing now.
So the funny thing is,
get that out of here. Get that out of here.
Boston need that.
Ooh, long.
There we go.
Okay,
right.
Bridges.
Boston wants to push the pace. They actually want to push, and we don't like to run for anything. We don't want to do nothing.
Yeah, they want to push so they can get to their threes easier, so they can
spread
the Knicks out.
Let's go, Cat.
Cat's made a couple of nice defensive plays in this quarter.
Kick it out.
Oh,
come on, Mikal. Need
Yeah.
that.
Timeout.
Let's go. I told you, the next couple of minutes are big. Now you got the Garden crowd rocking. Okay, Clyde.
Oh, shit. That's their best start so far.
Yes.
That's their best stretch. I would say best stretch in the first quarter.
In the first quarter, yeah.
Because they didn't play bad in the first quarter in the last game. Actually.
And then the game before, it was like back and forth, and then they gave up the run at the end.
At the end,
was.
yeah. Nah, look, I'm fine with this start.
I'm fine.
The nervous energy. Knicks fans, if you're watching, how you feeling in the chat? Are you at? Maybe some people have come down to a 1.
No one comes down to. You know why people are so nervous, and I understand. It's for reasons. PTSD. Like we have seen. So all right, take Game 5. Game 5 when there was a little scuffle between Hart and Brown after
we like that.
So you know where my mind went to? I was like, I said
1997.
Yes. I said I was on playback and I said
I knew exactly where your mind went.
You know, let me not say it. Andrew Claudio, shout out to Andrew, was like, now you have to say it. What do you mean? I was like, I remember the Knicks being up 3-1 in the series and then a fight broke out. And he was like, I just think the same thing. It's like it's years of just
that moment is fair. PTSD.
Yes.
I still believe that Knicks team was going to beat the Bulls in '97. I still believe
I
that.
believe that also.
I believe that my whole life.
I think a lot of Knicks fans believe that.
I think that actually might have been the Knicks' best team.
That was the best. That was the best team.
Better than what was the other one?
93
or 94. I think it was their deepest team. It was their best team. They were playing good at the end of the season.
Mm.
They beat the Bulls in the last game of the season that year.
Yes, they did.
John Starks hit a 3 in the corner in Chicago. And I thought they were going to do it. So whenever I see scuffles, it's funny. I'll be honest, Bryan and I, we kind of were like clapping, like, yeah, we like seeing this intensity. Yeah. But it didn't even pop in my mind, which generally is what pops in my mind, which is like, yo, stay on the bench. Stay on the bench. Please stay on the bench. That's generally pops in my mind.
Do you remember there was a scuffle between, I believe it was New Orleans and somebody, and a couple of people came off the bench, and it happened like this season, last season,
Miami,
and I said
New Orleans and Miami.
Yes, it was, and I said Knicks fans of certain age are counting who left the bench. Him. Like
Nikola Jovic got a game just for leaving the bench.
Yeah, I was like, no, because they made David Stern. Listen, oh man. Anyway, so I say all that to say that is why people like I'm older. I'm 44 years old. So I've seen the Knicks win the Eastern Conference more than once.
See, so you're tapping into something. We'll get to people in the chat in a second.
Yes,
you're tapping into something that I've been saying all season long. And it's because you're 2 years older than me. And we talked this about you and your era of watching the Knicks. The younger Knicks fans are on tilt because they have no idea. They have no idea. They have no idea. I sound like an old man saying this. They have no idea what it's like to see winning basketball, to see a team put together. Why all season long have I been saying patience with this team? They had 3 new starters. You and I talked about this. We had our burning questions before the second half. When you came on me, we talked about that. I think when you've seen things, you do have a little bit more patience.
Yes.
Again, younger Knicks fans. Usually, I understand. You should.
No, I get it.
I get that, but I do think that's a difference among the fan base.
Yeah, like there are a bunch of Knicks fans probably around my age who like miss Ewing entirely.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Well, if you're like 30 and under,
yes,
I get it.
If you were born in 1995, this is the best Knicks team you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah. The one it was up until then was probably the 54 win.
The 54 win Melo team. Yeah.
But this team is more sustainability felt, and I think that's
why. Yes.
I think
this team is deeper.
It's deeper
for sure.
Ooh.
Yes, like that team. Even that season, I was never as excited because I was like, this isn't sustasteable because
this feels sustainable.
Rasheed Wallace, Jason Kidd, Marcus Camby, Kenyon Martin. It was like this is they got maybe 2 years.
Yeah. Here you feel like you should have 3 to 4. You never know when the NBA thing could change quick with injuries, but you never know. Guess who's in the chat, Bryan?
East Blue Drew.
East Blue Drew,
yes, sir.
Who is still when East Blue Drew is typing in all caps, it could be good or bad. I don't know what kind of yelling it could be.
He does have something in lowercase.
He did say that. Well, I always love to start in lowercase East Blue Drew, but not the rest of it. He said, salute Nemhard 3 over Brunson. I still remember. He said, we winning this. Because 2 people outside the Garden right now, it'd be Gotham City for real if we lose. We'll have to put out the bat signal, bro. We'll have to put out the bat signal.
By the way, this WNBA slate tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to
no NBA games tomorrow, so
I know, and I'm going to have time. I will be away, but I have some time to watch the Liberty tomorrow. get their rings, hang up the banner. It'll be nice. So
I wouldn't be surprised if like the Aces came out.
Oh, they're probably gonna win, man. I don't care.
I kind of
want ring night.
I might bet on the Aces.
Listen.
It's happened.
The Liberty have been drunk all winter. And so what? I mean, I'm saying like,
I think the Liberty are repeating. I do.
They're either gonna repeat or this is gonna be a crash out, and nowhere in between.
I
can see that though. But
I could see them having a slow start to the season though.
I could see that too.
But I think they're gonna repeat because I still think even without Benija, they're the deepest team.
I wouldn't have entertained them repeating if they didn't get Natasha.
Okay, Cat.
Come on.
But I still like that he's a little going more aggressive.
Yeah. No, I just feel like
got him.
OG needs to see one go in.
Man.
So already with Pritchard, Porzingis, and Hauser.
Get that rebound.
I will say also,
yeah.
The other thing I will say is while most well won, because I was like, I think the 3-point variance gods.
Oh, we need this. Let's go.
Offensive foul. Oh, come on.
Wait, how?
They didn't say he kicked him.
He tripped Drew Holiday. But that was kind of like, that was completely.
But Drew Holiday flew into his motion.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little confused. I felt like that was going to be a defensive foul. Oh, because he's jumped. Oh, okay.
That's not a kick out. That's not a kick out.
No. But I get why they're gonna call it though, because his leg is moving towards you.
Yeah, that's a natural shooting motion.
That's a natural shooting motion. You be gliding forward.
They should have challenged that.
I'm with you, but
Cat needed that, man.
That's a natural shooting motion.
Forgot. That was my bet with Cat. I had over 1.5 threes. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't love the call, but I get it. I guess this is where I'm at. He's
how many rebounds does Josh Hart have already? He's got like 6. OG, we need this.
He can't buy a bucket.
Hustle, Cat.
That's a foul. Thank you.
Do it up. Did you see Cat's sarcastic clap?
He's so annoying.
He gets a terrible whistle.
Bryan and I have been talking about this, and Bryan always makes a good point. Bryan, what do you always talk about when he's going up inside? Do you feel like some of it is because he's fading away?
He fades away on smaller guys?
Yeah, I think that doesn't help him.
That's the
Shawn.
problem.
Like, I do think it's a rough whistle. I agree with you. I don't think he helps himself sometimes. I thought he got jerked in that. See, he went up strong right there.
That one.
Okay, Cat. Okay. We see you.
Now, here's the problem, though. What we've seen in the playoffs, sometimes he'll disappear after a loud first quarter.
That's a bad foul.
He needs to be consistent throughout the game.
Yes, this is very true.
He did it against Detroit where he went crazy. He was talking his shit the whole first quarter, and we didn't see him again until the fourth. So he needs to be consistent.
That's a bad foul.
Yeah, that is a bad foul.
Look, right here, just decisive. Just take it to him. Use the physicality too. Like, you're bigger than Jalen Brown.
Yeah, I want to see him use that in the right way, because we had so many people in the chat last game talking about he hasn't taken advantage of smaller guys. He hasn't stepped up. This to me is a big game for Cat to show. Yeah, I had Cat over.
Mitch.
Let's go.
Sounds like a nice ovation for him too.
Best player in the series.
East Blue Drew says Towns is ready tonight. Oh no!
Mets have the bases loaded.
Did you see this? Did you see this news on Aaron Gordon?
No.
Diagnosed with a left hamstring strain. Status in doubt for Game 7. Yikes.
As in, we will not see him for 2 weeks.
Maybe the rest of the season.
It was like when people were like, "Oh, Steph might come back." Like, he's not coming back.
I still think Denver could win that.
They could win one game.
Did they foul Mitch?
Yep.
Because they're in a bonus.
Porzingis is like, "You want me to do it?"
Hey,
Mitch
crazy. Went 6 for 6 last game.
Yes, he did.
Now they're like, "All right, you're gonna do it again."
Yes,
see, Mitch. He was practicing before the game. We have the video.
If you get 1 point per possession on these, that's a win.
Come on, Mitch. Make it 7 straight.
No, that's fine. That's fine. If you get 1 point per possession, if he gets 1 point down on every time they do this,
yeah.
See, and this is the thing. If he keeps missing them, they'll keep doing it, and then the Knicks offense won't catch a rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll start putting up bad shots. But the NBA hasn't banned it, so it's what it is.
And they should not.
That's good. There we go.
Okay.
See?
1 for 2.
Listen, if they get 1 point per possession, Michael Strahan.
Strahan's like, I didn't know how that was going to go. Good recovery, Deuce.
Oh, don't like that matchup.
I don't hate it.
That's
he got
why.
him a little bit.
That's why he could just kind of
Yeah, he
use his
said my
feet.
bad on that.
He knew. He was doing well up until that. Then he got into the lane.
Last minute reach.
Like right here, he was good. And then
that's fine.
Once we got to the baseline,
that's young boy Mitch.
And I think Pritchard knew, like, if I just keep going to the rim, I'll probably get the call. Because otherwise, I don't think he had a plan.
He actually didn't need. He didn't need to reach there.
Yeah, concepts of a plan.
Concepts of. I'd be inclined to agree.
Step up, Cat. See, I'm fine with him taking.
I was gonna say, yeah, with Jalen Brown.
Yeah, I'm fine with him taking the threes.
Yeah.
Yo, we got a Nets fan in here. The Giant Topic says the Nets fan, I'm low-key salty with how well the Knicks have been built and how they've been playing. They got a shot. Go New York.
Well, the Nets were doing right until they brought in Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant at the same time, like the Knicks wanted to.
It's about Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, it's about Kyrie Irving mainly. And you got DeAndre Jordan on a mid-level. Like, who the fuck was doing that?
Come on, I need to roll. Short. Oh, my God.
I told you, if they got Kevin Durant by themselves.
You can't.
Come on. That's over the back.
Yeah,
over the back, yeah. If they just got Kevin Durant by himself or Kevin Durant and, like, somebody else.
Get it to Cat. Cut.
Good ball.
Come on, OG.
Offense. That was great offense.
Oh, he can't buy a bucket.
Cat. Right back up. There you go. But I'm fine. I like the offense.
No, I like the offense. I was like, OG, I feel bad for OG. He just needs to see one go in.
I mean,
getting good shots, too. I didn't think that was going in.
No rebounds does Josh Hart have? I said that and I didn't look.
Speaking of can't buy a shot.
Yeah.
That was a good drive.
That was a good drive.
Look at Josh. He almost got it back.
Yep.
Step
up.
Push.
Now the transition defense is terrible.
Bad pass.
And it has been all
series
long.
Bad pass. Drew missed that.
Yeah, because he had to regather himself.
He had time, but there it is.
Come get some.
He's been wanting to take that since opening. Since
they jerked him on the first one.
Come on, get back. We're shooting 33.
Oh boy.
See, that's gonna go in.
Good.
See, and him not being healthy, he would have done this like more of the series. And I wonder how
his legs. He looks more. He has like more energy today.
Yeah.
You can see him on the boards. Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't even taking that shot before. So
there you go.
Oh,
that's fine. That's fine.
Look, he wants to call.
I
thought that was fine.
I thought that was a block.
Yeah.
And the fact that Porzingis even makes that play, he looked gassed from that play, though. The fact that he's even recovering to make that play is good. John Topic says, wasn't the biggest fan of those moves. I'm a big Kyrie fan, so I love that, but would have preferred if it was just KD and Irving that year.
Kemba was a free agent too, and I was saying Kemba won't be an issue. The problem is his knee ended up.
Well, it's funny. I remember we used to do a sports and hip hop podcast together. Bryan at that time was like, we had a debate about Kemba over Kyrie.
I was like, how much better is Kyrie actually right now? Given all the other stuff. Now, this is before COVID hit.
I love Kemba. I love Kemba. Kemba was just on me this week, but at the time I was like, I'm taking Kyrie. On talent,
I was like, I'm taking Kemba.
But the headache of Kyrie, no.
People forget Kemba was an all-star at first year. He was really good, and then that's when the knees started. Like, it was
knees really. It sucks for him. Knees really dwelling. He's a fantastic player. But yeah.
So I always thought that where Brooklyn messed up was when they traded for
Hardie.
That was the end.
Yeah.
I was mentally prepared for the Nets with KD and Kyrie to win the championship. Just those two and the supporting cast. When they traded
the supporting cast
to bring in James, I was like, because I say it all the time, the legacy of the 2011 Miami Heat for all time should be you need 8 guys to win the title. Because they thought it was like, we just have these 3 and me and Dexter and Bryan and Nikolai. You win the title.
No, don't put Nikolai in there. He's out here just expecting the Mets.
Well, we just left the bases loaded. It's 4-1. So, yeah, not great.
Yeah, anyway. Where was the update on the Mets scoring, Nikolai? Where was that?
But yeah, like I agree. Like I always say, like role players win titles too.
Yes.
Depth wins championships.
You
like,
need 8 guys.
If you look at all these teams, like even getting to the finals, like Dallas last year had 8 guys. Boston obviously had 8. Like you need to be able to play 8. What is it? Play 8, trust 7.
Bring 8, rotate 7, play 6, trust 5.
That's the longer version. Yeah. That's the
Pat Riley version.
That was
5-1. Yankees are up.
I think that still applies.
None of this is good.
And that
no. See, that's a pity pat. Nobody wants that.
Listen, Mets fans been running their mouth since this.
Well, we haven't.
December. No, I'm saying Mets fans have been running their mouth since December.
Oh, okay.
About
Soto.
We can talk about this here because we can do whatever we want to talk about it.
Okay. They've been running their mouth about Soto.
If I'm wrong, you could ask all the guys that are producing here today are Yankees fans. I'm surrounded by Yankees fans.
Except
if it wasn't,
you're not a Yankee fan.
I'm a Mets fan.
Okay.
And they've all worked here. They've seen me. I'm not somebody who's ran the Mets' mouth about Soto. I'm not somebody who said, "Oh, they now run this town," which is a ridiculous notion for Mets fans to say. It's absolutely positively ridiculous.
Along with calling us little brother, it's like, and I don't like to get in the whole big brother little brother thing in it, but it's like, But
there are big brothers and little brothers. If I'm a Mets fan, you can say you're little brother to the Yankees. It's okay. You don't have to be butthurt about it. It's fine, right?
I'm not, but I don't care.
Like the Nets fans know they're a little brother to the Knicks. They know
because every time they call us little brother, I'm like, that's because
my thing is
what my little brother
have
said
to be. You don't have to be insecure about it. Is my thing.
Who
right?
the
a lot of times,
whoever is the little brother.
Yeah, a lot of times the little brother is more talented.
You have to recognize. You have to recognize your. You have to recognize your place.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my thing is, what you can say to put it in context was getting Soto a great win for the Mets. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
No doubt. Do I think it had to make the Yankees, who I thought had a fantastic the pass?
There we go.
Who had a fantastic offseason. Recognize him have to do some things differently.
Mm-hmm.
But for the Mets fans to start poking their chest out over one transaction, I'm not. It's a big transaction for the Mets.
Yes.
I'm saying that as somebody who roots for the team.
Yeah, but it's like now go win.
Yeah, you still have to win.
Yeah.
Right? And I think Bryan and I are pretty level-headed on this, and they're like, yeah, I like that.
No, I knew that wasn't going in. Look at Deuce. That's going to go in.
Yeah!
He's having a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
Start. The John Topic says, Nick Federico, you two added to the list.
6-1.
5-1. Need a score update.
Because I got that game in front of me.
About to turn you Yankee fan. 6-1 now.
You know Boston has no rhythm to their offense.
No,
they do not.
If the Knicks could shoot decently, this would be a 10-point.
Great, good block. The Knicks are playing good defense, though.
It's terrible.
What are the Celtics shooting? Because the Knicks defense has been really good.
They're playing into the Knicks' hands too because they're not moving the ball. Like they're not making the Knicks work at all.
Which is when
the Knicks are just like, yo, we could stay
Celtics
home.
shooting 28.6%. Knicks, as you guys said,
they're like, y'all ain't making your threes, and we could stay home. All right,
yeah,
we're just gonna.
John Topic said the little brothers of New York sports are the Jets, Mets, Nets, and Islanders. All correct.
All correct.
Yeah.
All correct. And if you are a little brother,
need that.
There you go, Bridges. That's a big three.
They're getting that corner three.
Yes, they are.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. They could have easily 9 more points out of that one spot.
They got to close this quarter strong. Get another stop.
Porzingis.
Good switch.
Oh, he got.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. See, okay. Porzingis, if he's right, goes up there.
Out. Yeah.
He did. Porzingis bailed him out there.
Wow.
Couldn't get that board. Because Cat was
another
late.
reason you want to finish this out is because Al Horford will finally get 2 days rest before Game 7. And he'll get like a 12, 9,
yeah, that's
6.
the other thing I was thinking. That's the reason why I took his unders, because I'm like, Tito playing every other day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the second time he's done that in games. Yep, thank you. Thank you.
You know what? I'll give Cat credit.
He looks tired.
Cat has come out here in the first quarter and really sort of set the tone in a way I did not expect. Like, he's been real active, man.
Like, someone active. Other than Brunson has to do something.
I thought it was going to be Brunson with the 9-point first quarter. Cat's got the 9-point first quarter.
Brunson, does he have anything?
Brunson
has a mid-range shot.
Has a two-pointer.
Just
that's
a mid-range shot.
2 points, 2 assists, 2 boards.
He's waiting.
Knicks are 3 of 13 from 3. They are 5 of 13 from 3. They'd be up double digits.
But
what's Boston from 3?
3 of 10. So I actually like that the Knicks are actually getting threes up.
Yes.
For one thing, for me, I like that they're getting the threes.
They're getting open looks from 3.
They're getting open looks.
They're not just forcing it like the way Boston pretty much was in Game 1 and in Game 2 to a lesser extent. But they're creating open looks.
Yo, OG's 1 for 6.
He's trying.
He's trying.
He's putting them up.
Like he's got good looks too.
Yeah, and he's getting good looks. Just keep shooting it.
Keep shooting and keep doing like you did when you had that good cut for the dunk.
Easy bucket.
Good sub by Tibbs.
I agree with Giant Topic though, in terms of the little brother. Little brothers.
Yeah, look.
Who's the little brother in the MLS between the two soccer teams? You don't care, right?
Well,
it's got to be NYCFC.
But here's the problem. But here's the thing. They have the ring. They have the ring.
Yeah, despite not being here for nearly as long.
And literally, and you know what's funny? I was never a Red Bull. I never liked the Red Bulls because they never played in New York. They always played in Jersey.
So you went to NYCFC.
So I root for NYCFC.
Also played the same place.
And they play
and they're gonna play in Queens too.
Yeah, and honestly, they should play in Queens. I'm sad that they're not because I remember they were actually looking at. Oh, that's a move!
What a great move!
You can do that.
They were looking at a site by Yankee Stadium, and then didn't work out. But I'm glad they're playing Queens. Queens makes sense.
Yeah,
it does make sense.
I'm hyped for that.
That's gonna go in.
Oh, yo, I was looking at you like, what you know? I said, what do you know? Oh, man. Good first quarter for the Knicks. 26-20. Shawn is still at a 1.
Still at a 1.
How the Knicks feel? How are you feeling with this start here? How are you feeling? We have a random question in the chat. Why did Frank Mason never make it in the NBA?
Oh, my goodness. Yo, talking about Knicks of Christmas past. Like, why?
I mean,
he just wasn't
good
enough.
I know it sounds simple. Space with Spo, but
when you're short like that,
yes,
and you're not a knockdown shooter,
which he was not,
and you're not like someone who could defend above your head, like that's kind of
you're cooked.
Yeah,
it's like what's the name said. Fred VanVleet said, like, yo, he knew he had to defend and stay in the league.
Yeah,
like when you're that small, you either got to defend. Look at Deuce. Deuce could defend his ass off, but he's like he was shooting like 28% from threes.
And once he's got the shot going,
there you go.
He's one of the best contracts in the league.
Yeah. You have to be like a special scorer at that size, or a special shooter, or
you
someone
have to
who
shoot.
Can defend.
Yeah, and even today, and in today's NBA, you can't even be that strong. Just be a defender. You gotta be good offensively.
Yeah, you gotta be at least 3-and-D level, and Frank Mason basically couldn't do that in the NBA. You know? The passing also would help too, I think, especially if you're that small. But shooting and defense comes first.
The Giant Topic also says, I live in Arlington and here in Texas, many surrounding states, the Cowboys rule all. It's Cowboys by a wide margin. I appreciate there being little brothers in New York and the margin not being too wide.
I know a Cowboy fan ain't talking shit about who's little brother. The Cowboys?
No, he's just saying that. I think his point is that in the area there is no, because there's no.
Oh, there is. Yeah, it's just them. It's just them.
It's just them. Like, I mean, I guess maybe you could root for the Texans. They're from Houston.
Well, they're from Houston.
Oh, that's that. Okay.
And I know that, like,
but the Cowboys pretty much run Texas.
They run Texas because, like, wherever you go,
branding wise, they run the entire league. Not in performance.
Are you out here saying that they're not America's team here, Shawn?
They are America's. Honestly, they are America's team. But and to your point, like, there are like
depending on which America. But
I think, listen, man, they ain't both Americas, man. Listen,
they are.
They in both Americas.
No, they in all three. To be honest,
they're in every America,
which is true. You know, it's funny. Like, I remember I was explaining to somebody here at work a while ago. They didn't understand why there was not a lot of Black Washington fans.
Oh,
and I was explaining to them
which Washington.
The
Native Americans.
But when they were,
yes. Okay. And because also with some of the ownership stuff, and they were one of the last teams to like integrate, which people don't know as well too.
Yeah.
A lot of Black people in the DMV area were like, nah, we're not rocking with this team. Yeah. So that's why you have, and if you go to DC, if you ever go to like Commanders games down there, a lot of Cowboys fans, a lot of Black people who are Cowboys fans in the stands because of that. So especially of a certain generation.
Yes.
So, like, I'm talking like my parents' age and before. They were like, yo, we don't rock, we're not rocking with this.
The Native Americans were also like the team of the Deep South.
Yes.
Because there was no there was like to your point, like in the 60s or the 50s, there's no Falcons, there's no Panthers, there's no Dolphins,
Jaguars.
There's no Jaguar. They were the
Ravens
team
either.
Yeah, they were the team of the Deep South.
Yeah.
And you know, so that makes sense.
It does.
But the Cowboys are the team of all the Americas. All of them.
Yeah.
They do.
Listen, you go to they're the most popular team in Dallas, Austin, San Antonio.
Ooh. Deuce.
See, and that was one of the looks that they had that wasn't the cleanest at all.
Yeah.
That was one of his toughest threes he's made.
Mm-hmm. All right.
4-15. They're out shooting them from three. I'm talking about like just attempts.
Yes. Oh, shout out to Giant Topic. He said, "No, I'm a Giants fan. Don't do me like that."
Oh,
I moved here from Florida. Nah, we got you, bro.
That's a late whistle.
Yeah, that was. They were waiting to see if that was going to go in.
Space with Spo, who asked about Frank Mason as a Jayhawk. He says they did Tyshawn Taylor dirty.
I like Tyshawn Taylor. I don't think
actually.
The shooting, he just never shot the ball well enough.
He had the athleticism.
Yeah, I like Tyshawn Taylor too.
He had the athleticism.
That's good. Oh, there we go. Yeah. All right, Knicks up 11.
Wow.
Knicks up 11, shooting 4-15
Knicks up 11
from 3.
in the second quarter. What do we do with this? I don't know what to do with it.
Boston doesn't look like, it's going to come around in terms of shooting. Like they haven't had like one good offensive
I think the Knicks defensive intensity.
The Knicks have turned it up.
Look at that.
Damn,
that's a bad shot.
That was a bad shot.
They look awful, bro. If you're a Celtics fan, you're probably like, "Oh, this is
yo." East Blue Drew said it's a good game, yo. Almost to the finals.
Don't overlook the Pacers.
I'm not, but we're gonna talk about that when we get there.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Drew's 0 for 5.
Man.
I'm not.
And Derek White's 0 for 3.
He's 0 for 3.
I'm not gonna say Drew Holiday looks washed, but
he's Fat Elvis.
No, what you're gonna say is he looks old.
He's Fat Elvis.
Old is probably.
What else? Father time comes for us all, man.
True story.
Look at that. Jalen Brown's 5 for 8, and the rest of the team is 3 for 18.
That's what you want.
I think that's 16%.
And what you want is Jalen Brown to keep feeling
No,
himself.
that's not 16%. Yeah, it
Get
is.
some turnovers
that's like
late.
16-17%.
I don't like the fadeaway, but
I didn't like
don't
that at
fade
all.
away against Drew Holiday, man.
You're just giving them wins right there.
That's why you don't get calls if you do that.
Went too hard, Mitch.
Oh, you gotta take that shot, Jalen.
Yeah. Good defense, Mitch.
Wow.
Oh, he tried to Jalen Brown tried to sell that. And the refs were like, nope.
Good job by the refs, honestly.
Yeah.
You can't bail out
Pull it.
like that.
No, I like
Horford.
There you go, Cal.
He doesn't need
time out.
Okay.
Time out Celtics.
I like that. That was John Stewart. East Flatbush's finest, Busta Rhymes.
He don't need to shoot on Horford. You could just drive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
T.O. and T.O. crime.
Yo, Cat having his game.
I took the wrong over.
My daughter
Brunson hasn't done anything.
My daughter has entered the chat.
Hey.
She said, hey. She said, boo Celtics.
Yeah. Raise them right. Raise them right. Listen, I tell people like, you shouldn't tell your son. I have a 9-year-old son. You shouldn't tell your son who to root for, right? I was like, listen.
Yeah, our kids are the same age. Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not gonna tell him who we should root for.
Right.
But if you look at my house, there's certain teams that are off limits.
Yes,
you know what?
That's good parenting.
You know what?
There's certain teams that are like not. My wife's like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, watch me.
Well, I have a question. What? Let's just go through some of these teams for you.
Oh, you know them all.
Cowboys.
So if your son makes the right decision in life and decides to become a Steelers fan, how are you dealing with that?
Oh, it's fine. I help him find an apartment. And he's like, Dad, I'm 13. Like, it's all right. We'll find a place to live.
He's like, yo, man, I want to go.
So here's the thing about the Cowboys. As a Ravens fan, they're in the other conference. I don't really care.
So you don't care, right?
As much. It's just that the Cowboys are the most they're the worst fan base in the league. So
you don't want your dad.
I don't want
your son to become a part of that.
Like you don't want to be them. Like that's all I tell him. Like, yo, son, you don't want to be them.
See, where I rock with you on is what you want to do as a parent, even around the sports, is you want your kids to make good choices.
Yes.
Now, remember, some people were giving me hell for this here at work. My co-anchor here, Brandon London, because I don't know if you know, I used to be a Jets fan. We both used to do the Jets.
Wait a minute. How old were you when you got off of that?
5 years ago, I got off of it.
Wait. You became a Steelers fan 5 years?
Yes, I did.
Well, Pittsburgh ties.
This is your man?
Pittsburgh ties.
Why is that wrong?
This is your man.
Wait, did you want me to still be a Jets fan?
This is
why?
I understand.
Why? Why would you want
He's
that?
finding the words.
I understand why you would stop being a Jets fan.
Okay.
Even though I would not have, but like to go to, I mean, I guess you know what? Because you
did I jump to a team when they were good, or where they had a great? It was like I jumped and became a Chiefs fan.
I understand that.
I went from incompetence and decided to choose competence, even if it was mediocre.
So in 2020, you had enough. What happened in 2020?
No, it was before that.
Who did they draft?
You said 5 years ago.
Yes, 5 years ago.
2020.
That's it.
Oh, that was they got Zach Wilson?
Yeah, who did they draft? Zach Wilson. I knew he was going to be trash.
See, that was the end of the line for you. The end of the line for me was Ryan Fitzpatrick. I was like, I'm done.
We had end of lines. We gave it a good run.
I was like, I'm telling
you know what?
I was like, yo, Geno Smith is gonna be good. Y'all are tripping, and then he got punched in the face. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Couple things I'll say. How are you the New York Jets and you've never had a franchise quarterback? What's the best Jets quarterback you've seen in your life?
In my life?
Yes, the best Jets quarterback you've seen.
It's Vinny Testaverde.
That's for one season. What's the best Jets quarterback you've seen play for multiple seasons? See, this is tough.
Chad Pennington.
Yeah.
What does that say? How did you not just luck into a franchise quarterback? Not even once.
And
possible?
You drafted Geno Smith, who got good. You drafted Sam Darnold, who just had a career year.
Man,
like I don't know how to say.
I'm not gonna say it's good.
No, but he had a
I
career.
knew the trap door. I was like, the trap door is coming.
No, I agree.
I knew the trap. I knew I ain't
as
supposed to be in the tailpipe.
He left and had a career year. But the point is,
that's gonna go in. Isn't
like
it?
you've had opportunities to draft one. You got Darnold, who everyone loved, and you somehow fucked that up. And then Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson, I didn't like.
They got Christian Hackenberg in the second round.
Oh,
never took a snap.
Guys, if anybody tries to shade me for leaving that organization,
that's a foul. That was a foul. That was a foul. That was a foul.
I will.
That was a loose ball foul. They didn't call it.
No rhythm at all.
That was dribbled off his foot.
No rhythm at all.
I will not take shade from anybody who wants to tell me I'm wrong for choosing my football happiness. Absolutely not.
Well, I'll say that changing teams at 37 is like, all right, okay. And then to boot, you went to the Steelers. Because no one ever says, you know what? I don't want to root for the Jets. I don't want to root for the Jets anymore. You know what? I'm going to root for the Houston Texans because they got a good young quarterback and they're on their way up. It's like Steelers, like that's why I gotta give you shit for that. I'm gonna give you shit.
At least
I went to Pitt, so
but that's
they
why
were always sort of a second team for me. I always liked watching them, respected organization. So it was just you almost had another turnover. It was easy for me, not easy for me to go.
No,
it was a respect thing.
The Pitt thing makes sense,
right? And here's my thing for people: you would never tell. I think we have this thing where it's like you have to root for this team all the time that you are with them.
I agree.
We would never tell, because teams is a relationship in watching this stuff. Mm-hmm. We would never tell people to stay in an abusive relationship. My relationship with the Jets was abusive.
Your relationship with the Knicks was abusive, but here we are.
Here's the difference.
Oh, here.
No. There's
big shot. OG
made it.
I see one go in. He saw one go in.
They're kicking their ass right now.
Here's the difference, which we didn't think we'd have say it in the series.
No.
The difference with the Knicks, and people always ask me that. They're like, well, why don't you leave the Knicks? I've seen the Knicks go to 2 finals.
Right.
I've seen them
they
have
gave
franchise
you winning
players
moments at first.
Yeah. I've seen them have Melo, Ewing. I've seen franchise players. I haven't seen a franchise quarterback with the Jets. And I've seen nothing but incompetence. I've seen incompetence with the Knicks.
Yeah, the Knicks have given you a bunch of all-stars.
I've never left the Knicks. I will never leave the Mets. No need to.
Now, you want to talk about wait a minute.
Wait, you saying I should leave the Mets? Oh.
No, I'm not saying you should leave the Mets, but like you talk about incompetence, like, you know.
Yeah, there's been periods.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
but that's what gets you.
But here's the difference.
You're saying that the period when you get the periods of good, the hope, it gets you in trouble?
Oh, that could have been
I know. I'm glad they didn't call it. I said, oop.
Lob it up.
Oh, my goodness.
I hate that.
That was an oop.
Why do you lob it up?
That's an oop, Josh.
Why do you lob it up?
The difference with the
you
Mets
reward
is
the big man. Go ahead.
The Mets, every few years, they have a window. You know what I mean? Like they have like in the late 90s to the early 2000s. So they have like a 3-year window where they're good. Then it falls off. And then their farm system gets good. And then they have like the mid to late 2000s. Then they fall off. Then the mid 2010s. Like every few years it happens. And now they're on another run. With the Jets, it's like they haven't made the playoffs since I was in high school. So like it's been a decade and a half basically at this point.
Timeout.
I think that's a fine.
I like that's a good timeout because I didn't like how the Knicks office was looking.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, you're not gonna. If
I'll tell you why I feel the way I feel. Here's why I feel. Here's why I react the way I reacted. Because
you're a Ravens fan.
No. Because usually, so are you ever going to change teams again?
No, I'm good.
What if the Steelers go into a 15 years of incompetence?
I don't see that happening.
Because you know what's funny? The irony is this. The irony is you left the Jets because they haven't drafted a franchise quarterback. Because they're in the quarterback wilderness.
I know where you're
going.
And I'm in the quarterback wilderness.
You're in the quarterback wilderness.
I'm gonna ask you. You know what? You're right about that.
Who was the quarterback when in 2020?
It was Roethlisberger. His last year.
Yeah, that was his last year.
But let me say this: if I told you right now, you got to bet your mortgage on who's going to find a franchise quarterback first, the Steelers or the Jets? Who you rocking with? Who you putting your money down on? Sir, you like your money. You are not putting it on the Jets. You are not doing that.
Quarterbacks will be all right next year. You know?
Wouldn't shock me if the Steelers got one. That's all.
If I put my mortgage on, if you ask me to put my mortgage, I would say the Steelers. At the same time, in my football watching life, Ben Roethlisberger is above and beyond. The space between Ben Roethlisberger and the second best Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback in like my football watching life is huge.
Yeah, you're right.
It's huge.
You know who the nenext quarterback is after that?
If they didn't need another one. That's the thing.
Cordell Stewart
on the cover of NFL Blitz.
It's either Cordell, Neil Donald's in the top 5 because he made a Super Bowl,
but that was not
yeah,
good, quarterback
like
in 1995.
Like, listen, the Steelers you got Tommy Maddox,
I was going to say, they had Tommy Maddox, right?
Listen, I say it all the time. I said to my peoples all the time.
Tommy Maddox, XFL legend.
First and only XFL MVP. I say this all the time. The Steelers beating the Ravens in Week 17 in 2020 and 2021 was the worst thing that ever happened to y'all.
Oh, because
what? Because it slowed down the process. I'm realizing the truth of them needing to get to a quarterback.
Because they should have got.
I don't disagree with that. No,
the Roethlisberger one is whatever. But like Kenny Pickett winning that game Week 17.
I knew.
I was like they thought they had somebody.
That was messed up for me because I was like, yo, we got somebody. He's from Pitt.
And he's from Pitt.
And I was wrong. I
never rated that guy. I was like, I never rated that guy. So all I'm saying is,
I was wrong.
Like, and this team, listen, say whatever you want to say about his draft process. Like your team passed Shedeur Sanders not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 times.
I sat here.
You wanted him.
No, at round 4, you're like, yo, you got to take him. You got to take him.
Except I wonder if they did a little bit. I feel like what they might have did was a little Jets-ish. And they went with somebody else who looked the part. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't. I wouldn't have minded taking.
Who would be their starter right now? We expect it to be Aaron Rodgers, but
I was on a podcast the other day talking about it. It depressed me because Aaron Rodgers is depressing one, and then
could Jalen Warren play quarterback?
Mason Rudolph. I won't talk about it.
That's it. That he's QB1 is Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson.
I mean, you paid DK Metcalf like a quarterback. Might as well just try it out.
I'm fine with them sort of tossing this year. But back to the Knicks.
That's a layup.
Woo, what a finish.
That's a great finish.
26 more points, Jalen. Come on.
Yeah, but he could have a heater of a quarter, and the Knicks up 16. This is crazy.
The thing is, they might not need
it. Oh, my goodness.
That's a good point.
That's a moving screen.
Yeah, that's a good point, though, Brian.
Yeah, he might not need it.
Yeah,
somebody asked, how old is Lisa Salters? One of the great sideline. Lisa's one of the great sideline reporters of all time. I want to say Lisa Salters, if I had to guess, was 47 51. Or 48.
I'm going to be polite and say 35.
That's a lie. That's crazy.
Black don't crack.
59.
59.
That's crazy.
So. I would have legitimately guessed a lot younger. I would have maybe said 50 tops.
I said like 50. I said 50.
I went younger than that. I said 48. But wow. Did I know that?
All right, Knicks up 16.
Joe Mazzulla's getting his ass. Jesus Christ.
Second row Joe.
Yeah.
Not so easy when you don't got Jason Tatum, is it?
This guy.
You can't leave him open.
Wow.
Apparently you can. None of them can make a shot.
That's off.
Wow, they're getting
3-point variance.
The bad 3-point variance.
Bad
game.
3-point variance.
Yo, this is crazy.
But you know what's funny? They clearly went away from the well, it's beside Derek White in Game 5, but that's a foul. Thank you.
Yeah. I like that OG was patient with that and worked that into a foul. I like that. Yes, you were saying they got away from Derek White.
Yeah, but besides Derek White, like they didn't really. The way they ran offense in Game 5, a lot more transition, quick decision making, whatever. Like that worked for them. But I was like, but unfortunately, that's not who they are. So it's like, can they keep that up for 3 more games? Like you know, I see people don't rise to the occasion as much as they sink to their level of training. So it's like you've been doing something for 89 games. It's hard to just switch it up.
Yeah,
and like again, the 3-point variance, like you can't like. How many? Like we literally watched this team 3 times in the regular season shoot with flames coming out their rear end. Like the 3rd game against the 2nd time we played them this season at the Garden, which in February I trooped in a rain, snow, slush storm.
I talked to you after. I remember
yes.
that night. I
was like, yo, my man. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, but they can't just keep shooting 56% from 3. That's whatever.
No movement.
Yeah. You can't. I was like, they can't keep shooting 56% from 3 against us.
But that game in particular, that was a game where Tatum went off. They came back in the 3rd quarter, and Tatum just killed them.
Yes.
Yeah, what's that game? And yeah, that's crazy. Smooth Will, have you guys seen her in person? Is she cute in person? Smooth Will out here.
Yo, he out here trying to get intel.
I respect it.
Hey, least. I'm laughing. My producer Nikolai said something funny in my ear. Bang that, Josh. There we go.
Yeah, foul and 1.
Lee Salters, super talented reporter.
Yes.
And yes, she does look exactly as you're seeing in TV on person. Josh Hart. Let's set that Josh Hart triple-double alert. Well, only 2 points.
2 points.
5 assists and 7 rebounds.
See, yo, he's that's in play. It's in play.
It's in play because he could get the points.
He can get the points.
Let's see.
Could be. Come on, we need 3. We need all the points. See,
a
rebound.
Rebound.
Go up.
There it is. There it is. Come on.
He didn't get the assist either.
He didn't get the assist though.
Rebound. Nope. Oh, you got it. Oh, good play.
Get that out of there.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Let's go.
Get up.
Let's go.
Push it. Push it.
Push it.
And one.
Yeah. Josh Hart. Woo. Lenny Kravitz.
Is that Lenny Kravitz?
Yeah, this is Lenny Kravitz.
Hey, Lenny Kravitz.
Speaking of black don't crack.
Still be looking fresh.
Yo, he sits next to
Oh, he got it.
He got that. He's sitting next to Tracy Morgan.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is he a Knicks fan? Lenny Kravitz?
He's from Brooklyn.
Yeah. I mean, he could be.
Yeah, I mean, he could be.
Hey, they got 2 Brooklynites in the building. Him and Busta Rhymes in the building today.
I feel like I see him at Knicks.
I don't. This is a big ticket.
I've seen him in like LA for stuff. Yeah. That's where I've seen him at like Laker games.
This is the place to be
tonight.
Knicks
are up by 20. We're used to seeing them down by 20.
This is Boston's like, yeah, we're ready.
Yo, what's your like anxiety level at now?
Me?
Yeah.
It's still at 1.
Oh. I thought it went down to 0.
No, it's not good though. But like I'm in the same place where I started because I part of me thought that like they might win this comfortably. A small part of me, because it's like they know what they have to do.
You're scared to say it.
No, they know what they have to do. They know because it's like, all right. Oh, that was got elbowed in. I mean, it's in. Well, I can't say it's inadvertent because I'm not saying it was. I'm not saying it wasn't. Whatever. But because it was just very easy things for them to clean up in the game because they two second rows Joe's credit. They had a different game plan. They had a different approach to the game. It kind of ambushed the Knicks, and now it's like, all right, now we're gonna adjust. And it was just simple things like, hey, don't leave Derek White open. Hey, like you're switching everything. Why don't stop switching? Cat, be at the level. Things like that.
And they cleaned some of that stuff up and just I think I just like the team's energy since
and
they started.
Good. That's the other thing.
I just think it's been great since they started. The energy's been fantastic.
What I did not expect is for them to come out with that energy because how many times we've seen them sleepwalk through the first 8 minutes of the game.
Is true.
Yeah. So
yeah,
this is true.
Yeah, and for Brunson to not have to provide the energy also. Like
6-1.
He didn't come out and was just guns blazing.
Yes.
It was like Cat was being forceful.
Mm-hmm.
OG was being aggressive, trying to find his shot as well, even though they weren't going in. He was still like putting them up there. And the looks they were getting from three, as we talked about, like they're getting a lot of clean looks.
They're getting clean looks.
Clean looks.
Brunson's only taking 4 shots.
That's the thing that's surprising to me. It's just how, for lack of a better word, easy this looks. You know,
yes.
like they're pummeling these dudes, and it's crazy because I thought Boston would have better schematic game plan, better like effort. You're not getting that though.
Damn, OG took one there. Damn.
I don't know if I'm not gonna say it's on purpose, but it's like, actually, no, you shouldn't have your elbow up like that. They should be looking at this for a flagrant. And honestly, especially after the foolishness he pulled with Josh Hart last game, he might be on some shit.
That person was like, "Yo, get him out of here."
I wonder, how do you think?
Oh, they are. I didn't realize
they
are
challenging.
challenges.
Like if he does it on purpose, I'm wondering, how do you think? Hold on.
Yes.
So it's not a flagrant. It's just offensive foul. Yeah, that's
the right call.
That's
the right call though.
Because I'm like, how would you even deliberately? You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's like, when you dribble, use your offhand. I don't think he.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think he thought his face was going to be there. He
that-
definitely tried
yeah.
to use his arm.
That I agree with.
Yeah, I mean, he got that from his teammate because his teammate does that all the fucking time.
Yeah, I think they got the right call there.
To be fair, everyone in the NBA is doing this shit. Everyone in the NBA is using their off.
Everyone does.
Everybody. It's so annoying.
Including that guy in Oklahoma City.
You sound mad about that.
Because
you're not an SGA fan?
Because you're expecting to see them in the finals?
I'm just saying.
Don't say it. Don't fall into the trap, Shawn. Don't fall into the trap. Don't say it.
Listen,
he might have a different viewpoint. He might be just confident in his squad.
Well, there's 30 teams in the NBA. Only 6 are still playing basketball. So
4 after tomorrow, after Sunday.
Yeah. So it's possible, and especially since the discourse about foul baiting is just and all that good stuff.
I think both conference finals are going to be super difficult.
Yes.
And then watch them both be 5 games series. I'll be tight if
come on.
Had his hand in the cookie jar.
Yep.
That's all Porzingis could do. Is just draw fouls.
That's He's not driving past anybody.
We're gonna learn like maybe in June, July.
That could have been a foul. Multiple times. Yo, you're a soccer team, football team.
Oh, that's why.
They're actually playing for a cup.
Yes, they are.
Look at that.
Yo, was his face in his armpit?
Yeah, because he was getting into his move.
That's Josh Hart's 3rd foul.
Wow, that's not good.
That's not
triple double watch.
This is what Josh Hart. Look like Porzingis.
I don't think this is there.
It's
and
tough
then
because
the Knicks are apparently very adept at fouling people with their face.
Ball don't lie.
All right, Knicks
5-8-5 for Josh Hart, by the way.
I know.
He's on the pace.
I'm on the pace.
Now he's in
you want to know what the odds were on that?
Plus
3,100.
Plus 2,500.
Yeah.
Okay. We were literally
Offensive foul.
OG?
Yep.
Yeah. This is crazy.
I don't like the Knicks' offensive momentum these last couple of possessions.
Me neither. Oh, come on.
He was grabbing him.
Oh, yeah, he's grabbing him. He's grabbing him.
They're gonna call that.
Speaking of after this play, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah, knew he was gonna do that.
He can have that.
Nothing's in rhythm.
Honestly,
just let them keep shooting because they're not going to shoot their way back into this game with the way that they're generating these looks.
No. That's buckets. Let's go.
There we go.
Let's go.
Knicks up 23. Hey, Knicks fans, do me a favor. Stop whining about the officials.
I agree.
And to the point where it's like
they do it every game.
To the point, to the point it's like they see who the officials are and they start. It's like
can't do that.
They look up the records.
Oh my god!
But it's like I don't like this. I tweeted it today. I was like, yo, they could say is Jesus Christ is the official, and they'd be like, yo, I don't, yo, that dude, yo, I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, it doesn't matter who. Like,
back in 2000 BC, yo, he was against the Knicks.
Like, dude, listen. There are because see,
Joe Mazzulla's very religious.
Bad,
you
listen,
know.
there's this bad refs. Like the bad refs when we were younger, they were bad because they were just like assholes, like Danny Crawford
and possibly gambling.
Wow.
But like Danny Crawford and what's his name? I'm not even going there. I'm leaving that alone.
Yeah, allegedly,
like
maybe somebody else
guys like that.
You know?
Like now it's just like, oh, they called a foul on my guy, so he's not any good. Like I know who the like. Okay, for example, like Scott Foster. We know when Scott Foster shows up, he has one job. Like Bill Simmons calls him the extender. Like, wait, you down 2-1?
No.
All right, we said
it's not Bill. It's not Bill. The streets call him the extender. You know.
Yeah.
Now, some of the numbers are actually faulty or whatever the case may be, but that's just his reputation.
I think if you're looking at officials' record,
I do think he did game 3
by your team. He did do game 3.
He did game 3.
Yeah.
If you're looking into that, it's a loser mentality.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't like it.
Like
you worry about the rest before the game started. What are we doing?
Because here's the thing, like for example,
you know why? Because in 2025, everyone looks for a reason to get pissed off.
Yes,
I agree. Like, people just look for reasons. To be
everyone
mad.
just looks for reasons to get pissed off, whether productive or not.
I don't disagree with that.
Like that's all it is, and they're also looking specifically for what can I blame after my team loses.
Yes, where can I point the finger?
Yeah. So
and sometimes
it's always gonna be some bullshit.
Sometimes, and I know that because we all cover this stuff, and you know do stuff with Knicks Films on post game. Sometimes the stuff isn't that deep.
No,
like people try to
offensive foul.
Yeah, they're gonna call that. Sometimes after I feel like Game 5 is definitely an example of this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what? It's Tibbs' fault. Tibbs could have done this. No, they just played bad. They just stunk. Should Tibbs have subbed early in the third quarter? Sure. Was that the difference in the game for me? No.
Actually, and one. Come on, Cat. That's the one. Cat has to do that once.
People hate these calls, but like
they're
making mistakes now.
Yes.
You know, like you're keeping your hands out for too long.
The Knicks got to close this quarter better because I haven't liked the last couple of minutes.
I like that's
and now you're opening the door for people to be mad at halftime.
Yeah.
That's
with a 20-point lead.
So you can always find a reason. Rule number 1: you can always be mad.
Yeah.
Always be mad. Smooth Will said this is a perfect example of when you play a team over and over in a series, you will eventually figure them out. Smooth Will, you are not wrong. Absolutely. Good teams do that.
Yes.
And Dev, who was rocking with us last game, said, "Oh my God, close the doors. The Knicks are finally blowing the team out." Y'all been asking for an easy win.
This is the first time they're outplaying them for more than a quarter.
Deuce.
I like that look though.
Oh.
Before this game, the Celtics were leading for 84% of the series, and they haven't led, I don't think, today, other than 5-4. That was it.
I like Tibbs going to the double big lineup to close this quarter. I like that, especially with Hart out.
And you know what? You can't go to Hackamich when you're down 21.
I was going to say, you can't do it now. I thought he was going to do it too, actually. Sidestep 3.
Oh, I thought he had that one.
Look at Mitch. He could have dunked, but all right.
No, that's good.
Good.
Oh, damn, that was a loud ass thud.
He went long on that. Damn, I thought he had that. No stupid fouls.
I like the little nudge, the casual.
Ooh, that's close to back.
That's close.
That was close.
Yeah, that's why I said, ooh.
Set the screen. Set the screen. Yes. Can we?
I don't. Well, you don't see enough 1-5 pick.
They don't.
He wants to get Horford on him for that.
Got him. Woo, that was wet.
He's heating up.
What's he have?
14? No, 12.
Some of us need to know.
11.
11. Okay. Don't take a step back, Jalen. You clown.
Yeah,
he wanted to.
He wants to.
Step up.
Oh,
that's a good pass.
That was a good pass. Yeah. It was only where he could get
I thought he was pulling up, though.
He wanted to.
Me too. Especially when he got the switch. Wow.
Set the screen. Set the screen. Set the screen.
That's a foul.
Oh, God.
I don't like that fall.
Yo, when he falls, my heart goes in my throat.
Especially if it's like to the side with the elbow.
He's got an injury history, man. You know, that's the thing about the contract that made me nervous. I was like, I get it, because like,
what's crazy, he's had his healthiest season.
You have to be all in at this point, but you know.
Shout out to Casey Smith.
It's tough.
Not getting enough credit. Not getting enough credit. I will say OG, even though I know he's shooting, let's see, what's OG shooting today? 2 of 9. So nothing great. 1 of 7 from downtown. He's had a lot of good looks.
A lot of good looks. So, like I said, the process is good.
Knicks got 12 from Bridges, 9 from OG, and 13 from Towns,
OG,
11 from
9, 5,
Brunson.
and 2 blocks. Give me that.
Did he actually get that?
Yeah, he did. I think McBride's got me my over.
There we go.
They're getting stomped.
You know what bet I looked at today, and I was like, nah, it's not gonna happen. There was a bet I could have bet it was a Celtics under like 96.5 points. It was like plus 310, and I was like, they're not gonna score 96 points.
I don't know if I would have touched that.
I was like, I can't touch that. Like 100 maybe, but like 90, especially this team with the variance. That's offensive foul. Oh my god, he fouled him in his face again.
I thought that was
that's crazy that they're just going to post ups.
They drew how they post up.
They're like, what are they doing? They're lacking so much confidence in their shots. I mean, this continues. We won't have to worry about Monday after all, because contingency plans. We were like, yo, what happens if this game's Monday? Deck's gonna be away, whatever. And
I'm happy to I will be in Boston on Monday.
I'm very glad this starts Wednesday.
Pack your orange and blue.
Oh, there's some orange and blue in the suitcase. Got some Nets, got some Knicks. You know what I'm saying? You got to walk around and make the people angry. I mean, they're always angry up there, though.
They are always angry.
Kind of like here.
Nah, different kind of angry.
It's a different kind of angry. I always say,
cat.
And they're closing the quarter strong. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I was gonna say it is different because they're speaking of little brother. Like they kind of feel that way, or they don't feel that way, but they you get what I'm saying. Like they know what it is.
I once told you,
Philly's kind of similar.
In 2010, I was working opening night, Sunday Night Baseball, Yankees Red Sox. This is the Yankees coming off their last title.
Good ball security.
And I was at Fenway Park doing work, and I saw this dude walking around in the concourse, and he had this dope jacket. He had like all the Yankees pennants on it.
Yeah.
And he had this drum. He's like, bump, bum, bum, bump. The champs are here. Bump, bum, bum,
all the Yankees pennants, like 20 of them from like
I never
1900.
saw. I looked at these Red Sox fans' faces. They were so sick. If they could have jumped this dude, they would have, but they knew they couldn't have done it. But you could tell they wanted to. Oh, they were so hurt. And I was just like,
yo, is the only one doing anything
so much.
Yeah.
Jalen Brown's the only one doing anything.
Yes.
Like the way the Knicks are closing the quarter, closing the half. They haven't done that. Jalen Brown literally is half their points.
He's the only person in double figures for them.
That's crazy.
Oh, precious. 2 minutes.
We might get Tyler Kolek minutes if this continues.
Precious at 2 or 3. That went in.
I say this all the time, though. He shot threes in college. When he was in Memphis, he shot threes in college.
Line was also
you don't need to see him shoot it now.
Closer.
I think he was like 33%, but like still, he shot him.
Oh, that's right. That's the right move. That's the right move.
He got to the NBA. And Spo was like, nah. Spo was like, you ain't shooting no more threes. You're a center now. OG, yeah, he wants to work.
Crowd's gonna erupt if they get a bucket here.
All the way to the rim. 27-point lead.
Wow.
Wow.
What a first half for the Knicks.
Wow.
27-point lead. Who had that on their bingo card?
That's how you drive. From now on, that's how you drive. If you know, you know.
Wow. It is crazy at the Garden, man. Wow. Woo! Celebration starting early on 7th Avenue.
Yeah.
Woo! How you feeling? Yeah, I know. Yeah, see, you think sometimes I'm calling. I might have started talking too early.
No,
I mean,
no, don't say nothing. Here's what we're gonna do. It is halftime. We want everybody to bask in the enjoyment of this score. The Knicks are up 27. We're gonna step aside. When we come back, we're gonna be here in the second half.
Yes.
Shawn is still at a 1. I'm at a 1. Brian's at wherever he's at.
I'm at a negative 10.
Negative 10. Knicks fans, you should be feeling good. We're going to talk about more in the second half. We're going to take a break. We'll be back for the second half here on the Knicks New York Got Game live watch party for Game 6.
Run offense.
All right, we are back. Knicks tied for the largest halftime lead in franchise history since 1970.
There we go.
And they just put 2 points on the board to start the third quarter. Another assist for Josh Hart. Got that triple-double watch. That's 6 assists for Hart. 5.6 assists, 8 boards.
That's going to miss?
Yeah. They're still not.
They're not crisp.
At all. This is the worst I've seen them look in the playoffs. Good drive.
Ooh,
Get on!
That was a great first step.
You know what I give?
Great first step.
You know what I give OG a lot of credit for today? Man, the shot's been gone, but his drives have looked good.
Yes.
They've been purposeful.
He's not shying
They
away.
were 31.
Yeah, this is over.
31 is not.
Like,
but to your point, like he's not. He doesn't let his offense dictate his defense. He still stays confident. He still tries. He's still like 32.
Now it's just a matter of now we're getting to the point. It's too early. But I'm looking at like, all right, how long is Tibbs gonna keep this?
Honestly, is how long does Joe Mazzulla be like, all right, you know what? I mean, obviously being an elimination game, he's gonna push as far as he can,
But if I'm Tibbs, I'm trying to get out of it as early as I can. Not yet, though, obviously. That's a fourth quarter conversation.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
You're just giving Luke Cornett a block.
You got to get back, Josh.
He wanted to pass the
That was decent transition defense.
No, it was really good.
The forcing
trailer.
He wanted Drew on that. But
is that Derek White's first three?
The Knicks collapsed. Is it really? Jesus. I need him to start going nuts.
Well, you don't want to, if for people who have some other props on this, you don't want it to get too out of hand.
Listen, if I lose a prop because the Knicks win by 30,
who gives
I don't give a damn.
I had the wrong game script for this one.
I don't blame you.
Here's Brunson.
Screen. There we go.
That's too easy. Wasn't a great
I wish he took what's name off the dribble.
Good turn.
I think that was
good rotation. Pick left. Good switch. I mean, not even a switch. This is fine. I like this matchup. What? Come on. What are we doing here?
Bridges didn't like it either.
Listen, ref, don't turn on keep scores close, all right? It's up for that.
Yeah, I don't like that call.
I didn't like that call.
Four fouls.
See,
wow.
Bridges usually never is in foul trouble.
Exactly.
The last time I seen that man in foul trouble.
He's still in too.
You know what's funny? I actually like when Brunson's on Brown. Here we go.
2
Here,
3.
that's 2. You just see. Yep.
You said you needed him to get going.
They have a long way to go.
They have a long way to go.
It's a long
And when you're up 32 to blow
and we said
a lot of things.
We said this too. We said this at halftime. The Celtics are going to have a run.
There's going to be a run.
It's just a matter of not letting it metastasize into something that's like, oh, now you're only up 10. Because then it can get a little shaky.
Yeah.
So.
Take the 3. There we go.
Even now, they're too good to not have a run. Like, they're going to play hard. They're going to try to figure some stuff out. But the Knicks have so much big of a lead. It's not going to matter.
Okay, see.
That was
a heat check.
Yeah. And not a good shot.
Not a good shot.
He does more of those than you realize. Like, for someone.
I saw the vision. I see
That's
the
good.
finish.
There we go.
There you go, Mikal. Mikal took that right in rhythm, man.
He loves that. He loves that shot.
All right, up 28.
Yeah, the Mets might be cooked.
Oh, still 6-1. Listen. That Soto solo home run in the ninth inning is gonna hit like crack in the 80s. Offensive foul.
Yo, look at you throwing all the shade.
No, I'm saying I have money on this.
Oh, that's true. I forgot
And
about
look,
that.
I'm gonna bet it every game because I think he's gonna.
He's gonna get one.
He's gonna get one of them. Yeah. You can keep giving me +3, whatever it is.
Yes.
I just want to. All I want this weekend from the Mets is a Soto walk-off.
No, you're going too far.
That's all I want, man.
That's a crazy shot.
I appreciate Jalen Brunson for trying to get the over. You know, I appreciate him doing his part.
Man.
Yo, so
I don't know if he'll get it though, because it's too much of a blowout.
I want to give a shout out to, you know what? Not yet. I'm going to wait. But I got a shout out for somebody.
See, some people already feeling themselves in the chat. Dev says, yo, game 5 was fool's gold. These seeds ain't nothing, man.
Listen.
I don't know about that.
No. You gotta let him talk his shit.
No.
Not that they're not nothing, but I never believed that the gap between these two teams was as big as they showed in the regular season. Yeah, I never believed it. And that was my biggest frustration with Tibbs. It's like, this team, like, it shouldn't, like, my criticism of Tibbs this season is I don't think he's maximized the roster. And I'm like, this team is too talented to be getting clapped by 25 against these dudes every single time.
You and I talked about this mid-season when you came on with me, and we both are on the same page. Like, we are not, like, heavy on the minutes, please. I think Bryan somewhere in this too. It's just more about, did you utilize the roster as well as you should?
Yes.
In terms of the regular season, I always said, why can't you have 5 minutes for Pacome Dadier against the Wizards? Why can't you find 5 minutes for Tyler Kolek in these games? I've been saying this.
Or even why are the wing defenders not doing what they were brought to do on a consistent basis?
Well, some of that to me was on players like Mikal Bridges shying away from contact.
Oh, I don't think that's a Tibbs thing, but I do think, like, in terms of maximizing your roster, like, you should be able to get more results from that.
Yeah, that I agree.
You know, like, and I knew the defense would take a step back. I didn't think it'd be like, yo, are they going to finish the season top 15 type of a step back, which they did, but, like, not by much.
Yeah, because
the Pacers were actually a spot higher, which is interesting. We'll be talking about
the defense has looked good in the playoffs, though, right?
Which
is like, I always will say at the end of the day.
But that's what I thought it would look like more consistently.
Yeah, at the end of, and here's the thing.
You need time.
I'll take a million regular seasons that look like what look like this year. This would have
a point you made all year. You need time to establish rhythm, chemistry,
habits, chemistry, all that stuff. This is where I go to the younger Knicks fans who sometimes don't understand that because they listen. I'll say this. I'll still be on my soapbox with this. 2K and the trade machine ruined a lot of things. Ruined a lot of things for y'all.
Trade machine, the trade machine especially. Just go get this guy. They're not going to make that trade.
And the people stuff matter. You just can't bring people together and think it's just it's just all going to be smooth.
Absolutely.
And I think fans think that sometimes. Because the generation of younger fans been like, yo, I did this in 2K and I put this person here and we was winning. I'm like,
and then they see the Luka Doncic trade and they're like, yo, why can't this other thing happen? You know,
I'm like, yo, there's a lot of circumstances.
You know, the Lakers, it's
Nico
a little
will
different.
never see heaven.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Nico will never see heaven.
Well,
Nico Harris will never see heaven.
Man, I hate that they won the lottery.
I mean, he might be like, whatever I see is better than now because I'm living in hell right now in Dallas.
Nah, he's in purgatory.
He's gonna get Cooper flagged now.
Now he's in purgatory. He climbed out of hell. Cooper brought him up to purgatory.
They'll get Cooper flagged. They'll get something for Daniel Gafford. They'll be in the playoffs. It's gonna be so annoying.
We got some more. Henry Lico says, "Talk that stuff, Dev. They ain't the same without Tatum." And Dev, I'm gonna let you talk. Dev, so you see how much crap those pundits on ESPN and FS1 were talking about us, man. Especially that fat turkey neck Windhorse and Paul Piss after game.
Let me say this.
Family show.
See, I like Windhorse. People think Windhorse is a Knick hater. He's not a Knick hater. He's a troll. He's a troll.
Low-key troll.
He's a low-key troll. Paul Pierce is clearly a Knick hater, but I mean, I would expect nothing less from a Celtic.
I keep telling fans, you don't have to pay attention to these guys.
I say this all the time.
You don't have to watch this stuff.
Like, people are mad, like, I would not watch First Take today. They didn't give us no credit. It's like,
why do you need credit from them?
In Big 2025, you still looking for credit from Stephen A. Smith?
I don't understand that. Why do you need credit?
And Governor Perk? Remember Governor Perk?
Although Perk has been Team Knicks for a long time.
But you
know what my problem with that is, though? Great shot by Josh Hart. Who's taking the threes?
Take the threes.
Josh Hart has been.
But you know what my problem is? You know what my problem is? My problem is because now everyone does this shit. So what people think qualifies as a good analyst is just someone they agree with.
I like Perkins. Shout out to Perk.
It's just someone. Are they telling me what I want to hear?
Right, and you don't need that.
And then you think, oh, this person's great.
Give me that.
And if they're real, but you don't agree with them.
Yeah, they're whack. They hating on us, whatever.
Exactly.
I deal
with this bullshit all the time.
Sometimes
as someone who talks about boxing and shit, I deal with this bullshit all the time.
Sometimes some of these analysts say where they were like, look, I sat here, I did not pick the Knicks to win the series. I had them losing in 6.
Who did?
And you know what? Doesn't mean that's a foul.
That's a foul.
Doesn't mean, anybody pick the Knicks, the Celtics to win. Does it mean I know basketball any less? No, I just looked at the data. I made an informed opinion. We're all making guesses out here. Some of us informed guesses. Sometimes you're going to be wrong. I'm more than happy.
If you're in the prediction business, you're going to be wrong.
You're going to be wrong.
You're going to be wrong.
Yeah.
And like any of us who watch sports, fans, whatever, it is. Stop seeking validation so much.
That's what it is.
Enjoy the process. Enjoy your teams. Watch the teams. Have fun. You know what I'm saying? Watch this. Oh, cat.
Nice.
Dominican on Dominican crime.
The T.O. and T.O. crime.
Woo.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to get everything right. And honestly, that's not your job. Your job is to analyze things, to evolve with new information. Like when things happen, it's like, okay, you have to adjust your expectations as you go. Shawn mentioned this earlier. Like you have to adjust as things happen. Like the bad analysis would be to like, if the Knicks were up 3-1 and then you're still married to your take from beforehand when you said, yo, the Celtics are
But you're going to get some people like that. Some people have to stay in the space
if you can prove it,
adjust.
if you can prove it and you believe it,
but
that's
sometimes
one thing.
You're making a point. You're saying people don't adjust to the new information sometimes.
Yeah.
Some people are just stubborn like that.
Yeah, like I thought the Celtics would win the series. After game 2, I was like, oh, okay. Now we have to have a different conversation. And then after game 4, I was like, the Knicks are winning the series, definitively.
I knew some people are committed to being right or the appearance of being right based on what they saw instead of what you're saying, which is adjusting to the information. Dev says, nah, but they do it all the time. At some point, it gets exhausted, and you clap back because national media basically just slanders the Knicks. Jalen Brown is better than Brunson, Charles Barkley.
You don't have to worry about that, Dev. That's basically what we're saying.
My thing, though, Dev, is you don't have to watch them.
You don't have to watch.
If you think they're biased or you don't think it's nuanced enough, and I'm not slandering the people, that was great defense.
Great defense.
There's other options for you to watch. Not saying that it has to fit the narrative of what you want to see, but you can get nuance. It is out there. Yes. You know, I'm not telling you what to watch, but I understand.
I'll tell you what to watch. Knicks Film School, Knicks Fan TV, New York Got Game. Like there are there's Strickland, like there's so many outlets out there that have nuance
out there. Bryan show, the come up that Bryan does. The build up, sorry. That's the build up that Bryan does.
Just my channel. Just the channel.
There's different things that people
that's
are doing.
Out on Jalen.
And I think that's the beauty of sports media now is there are some good, some bad. There are more options.
I was gonna say
but there are, but that's like anything else, right?
That's
and so I think the beauty for people like Dev is like you don't have to watch the national media. And clearly, Dev, you are rocking with us here today and watching the game along with us, and we appreciate you and everybody else.
For sure.
Yeah, it is.
And like that's a dope thing, you know.
Look at that.
It's dope.
Listen, you have to remember that the ESPNs and the Fox Sports ones are for the casual fan above all.
Yes, and that's a great point.
So they're not here for me or you, Dev. They're here for the person who's like, oh, you know, this Shai Gilgeous-Alexander guy is pretty cool. Or the dude who thinks they know ball because he plays his 2K or whatever. They're not for people like us. So yeah, like I remember one time there was I forget which Knicks game. This was last season. And I remember tweeting, I said, if you watch First Take today, you're a masochist. Because it was going to be, they were going to destroy us. And it's like, why would you subject yourself to that? But, you know, like, you ever saw the movie Private Parts?
I have not.
Okay.
Wait.
The Howard Stern.
I knew it's
what is this movie about?
It's Howard Stern's autobiography.
Yeah.
So Howard Stern's autobiography is called Private Parts. And then they made it into a movie.
Yeah. But I actually have not seen
I also realized that
is a hell of a name.
That was the age gap right there.
That's the age gap.
You never even heard of the movie, right?
No.
Yeah. See,
that's his autobiography. He wrote this is like 1997.
I
know you know who Howard Stern is, but he wrote his autobiography in the 90s, and they made it into a movie. It's actually like he plays himself in the movie. It's low-key a good movie. Anyway, so I say it to say there's a scene in there where basically, long story short, he gets hired by WNBC. They're like, but he's Howard Stern. So they're like, oh, we should fire him. But he signs like a 4-year contract, so we're not going to get that money. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to get him to quit. So there's a scene where the program director of the radio station, who's actually, you ever watch Billions?
Yeah.
It's Paul Giamatti.
Okay. Paul Giamatti.
Yes. Yeah. So he gets a report from this guy, and he's like, the guy tells him like, all right, the average Howard Stern lover listens to the show for like 30 minutes. And they ask why. And they're like, the most common answer is, I want to hear what he has to say next. And then they say the average person who hates a Howard Stern show listens for an hour and a half. And he's like, wait a minute. If they hate him, why they listen? And his most common answer, I want to hear what he'll say next. And that's what First Take is. That's what Undisputed was. That's what Speak is. It's like, I want to hear what they'll say next. Even though even though I can't stand this dude.
People look for reasons to be mad.
People
like, I blame
us, the collective.
Yeah, it's us. We choose.
Yeah. We're part of the problem, the collectively. I saw Joe Budden post his podcast numbers at the end of last year, and a lot of people hate listen to his pod.
Yeah, a lot of people hate listen.
It's like the average amount of time listened. It was somewhere in that like 40-something minute. I don't know, but that's high for a pod that's like 3-4 hours.
Yeah,
and the listen time was a lot. And then if you go on like the Reddit board for the show, everyone's just, no one knows what they're talking about except Mark Lamont Hill.
Yeah.
Get them all out of here. It's just stupid.
But they still watch. But they still listen. They hate listening.
Look,
you know what I mean?
Look, you're gonna see that no matter what platforms you're on, though, too, right? You know, I'm sure you guys see it on Knicks Film School. I've seen it. I've watch you guys and see the chats.
Yeah.
There's some and then it's like, Shawn doesn't know what he's talking about. There's always gonna be the person that thinks they're smart. And I'm not saying that I'm smarter than everybody. That's not something I'm saying. I'm smart. I know I am, and I don't give a damn what you think anyway. But there's always going to be some people like that. And you, I think, really put a point that's great, which is that, to tie it into the private part scene movie. In case you just tapped in.
I thought it was a scene.
Yeah.
When you first mentioned
I was like, if you tuned in and had no context,
it's like a scene.
Yeah, it would be bad.
Oh, take the shot, Josh.
Which I'm sure
I can get the assist, and I get. I needed that other three. Damn.
They almost doubled up the Celtics, by the way.
Yes.
This is
crazy. Yes, they're up 37.
But your point,
it's his first three.
Your point being that, people hate watch, as Bryan said, and just want to hear what person has to say or how ridiculous it could be. And those shows play into that in the way they do their rundowns, in the way they pick their topics, in the way they discuss all of it.
They talk about in pre-show meetings what's gonna get people
riled up. What's gonna get people going.
That's why it's Cowboys. It's the Knicks when they're hot.
Lakers.
It's the Lakers. It's LeBron specifically.
LeBron, the Warriors.
Steph, it's...
So if you want more nuance, look for more
Clark,
nuance.
not the WNBA.
Yes.
It's just
Caitlin
her.
Clark, right. And you have to do that.
Look, man, I remember when
But shout out to Dev for, giving
us... That's a good conversation.
He got us like in our bag.
But no, Dev brought up a point. I'm not saying Dev shouldn't feel kind of way. I think he should just search for better media.
And I love talking about
that's a foul.
I love talking about like the state.
That's 10 rebounds?
The industry, the state of the industry. Like that's really my bag. Okay. So
10 rebounds, 6 assists.
We have hours plural long conversations about this.
Yeah, we can.
I remember I'll just say this real quick. When the Heat won the first title with LeBron, and LeBron was first title, I was like, I want to see what Skip Bayless is going to say tomorrow. Maybe he'll give him his credit, and he did it. And I was like, I'm done with this dude.
Yeah, there's sometimes even those shows that I don't, because that's not generally my consumption, because as we all established, they're not making shows for us. But there are times where I'm like, I want to hear, because they're good at what they do. Mm-hmm. There's times where I want to hear legitimately what Stephen A. thinks about
something. See, that's something I feel like that's something I don't think people give those shows, those particular debate shows. I don't think people give the people on there enough credit for that they're good at what they do. Because I think what we're acknowledging is there's a thing that they do.
Yes.
Now, whether you like to consume that or not is a completely different thing. Yeah. But the thing that they do in getting the people riled up, they are masters at it. Because now I don't keep coming back, but some of y'all keep coming back.
It's hit music.
But my thing is also the other thing I'll say to fan base, because I saw Devin here saying about Jalen Brunson when he didn't make the All-Star team his first year with the Knicks.
Yes.
And he didn't get the first team All-NBA last season when he said we know that he deserved it. I mean, last season I thought it was borderline. He was like, I knew it was going to probably swing. He could have made it. I wasn't upset that he didn't make it. But, the national media, and I talk to people who work in the national media, so I want to be very clear about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know people who work at ESPN who do really good work. We have Chris Herring's book right here, Blood.
Shout out Chris Herring.
Shout out to Chris Herring, who I talk a lot during Knicks games. We sit next to each other a lot at these Knicks games, and Chris and I talk.
Celebrity Row?
No. We're working. We're in the media section. Celebrity. See, no. Don't do this. Because the last game, they tried to make me bougie because I had floor seats to the Kendrick show last week. And I was like, oh, Dexter, you got floor seats. It's like, no, it's not cheap.
But that's the thing, like, because we're talking about this. Like, the distinction is basically like, look.
Oh, I like your comment back. I agree with you on
that.
Yo,
I don't know.
I agree with you on that. Sorry to cut you off, Bryan. I agree with
Listen,
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
I agree with you.
It's our generation.
I haven't talked about this yet.
Our generation thinks that MJ is gonna come and say, "All right."
So yeah. So I'll tell you what.
Bryan, I want to hear this from you because you're younger.
I'll tell you what. Like, I'm curious to see what he has to say. But do I think he's gonna be like amazing on TV? I mean,
Jorge says Jorge is looking at the comeback for the Celtics.
It depends. Like, is he gonna really let it fly? Probably not. But we'll see. You know,
that's actually not my concern.
There's certain dudes I do want to hear. I do want to hear what he thinks about like certain players, like from a basketball perspective, like SGA. I want to see what he thinks about him or some of these other dudes. But do I think he's going to go in there and do like an amazing job? Not necessarily.
So Jorge, who was rooting for the Celtics to come back here, said MJ and NBC is going to save us next season. And Shawn replied to him and said, "Are you sure? Jorge?
Are you sure?"
And my thing is, I'm with you, Bryan. There's some intrigue to seeing MJ here.
Sure.
But I'm not sure this is great for both parties. And here's why. Knicks are very comfortably ahead.
Comfortably ahead.
52-51. The reason I'm not sure this is great for both parties is what do we know about Michael Jordan? As somebody who grew up a Knicks fan and tortured, Michael Jordan's petty.
Yeah, he is very petty.
Is he going to be petty in his commentary with some of these players?
Is that going to make good TV? Probably.
But think about
it could.
It could.
It could, but I could also see where it's like
he might take shots at Charles Barkley.
Old guy taking shots at young NBA player, and like that's becoming so tired.
Yes,
that conversation around the NBA.
I'll say this: I think Jordan will do a better. I don't think he's gonna be like Shaq and just like shit on everybody.
Yeah, maybe he won't.
I think he'll do. But to your point, the people that he don't like. Oh,
I can find that entertaining. Sometimes you gotta talk about the people we don't like.
Going back to the agreeing part, like if there's certain players that he's gonna talk about that you're kind of like not feeling, you're gonna like it.
I just want to know is he still gonna be wearing the baggy ass suits? That's what I want to know.
I think most the players that like if he doesn't dislike, he will have a he'll be neutral. He'll be like, all right, whatever. But like if he does not like a player, that player is catching the rap.
But that could be good and bad. I will at least say that. Yes. Jorge said he's a legend of sport. We're all going to want to hear what he has to say.
At first.
Now
That's it. Jalen Brown just fouled out.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Wave bye to him.
6 fouls in three quarters.
Wow.
Jalen should wave bye to him. Because
you know what? Listen, Jalen Brown, he showed up today.
Shout
out to he like honestly, he showed up game 5. He showed up today.
Yep, he got him. Brunson got him.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Brunson didn't wave bye to him.
I think he respects him. If it was someone like
Payne Pritchard,
Dennis
Asar Thompson.
Yeah.
But I think like I'm not holding my breath on Michael Jordan coming in. And also listen, the greats, the all-time greats in any sport are listen. Joe Montana was not great for NBC.
No.
Emmett Smith was not great for ESPN.
I don't remember.
He was.
Emmett Smith. I remember.
Emmett Smith was.
I was mad.
That did not work out well.
Did not look out well. So I'm not gonna like, and that's why I give Chuck and to a lesser extent Shaq. Like it's not easy. Like Shaq may be a hater, but it's not but like Shaq looked like freaking Bill Simmons compared to like Emmett Smith. Emmett Smith was awful.
See, the thing with inside the NBA, which
that's good.
Yes. Woo.
He's still shooting.
Woo. The thing I think with inside the NBA is that like those dudes have understood what their role is. Like it's literally just an entertainment show. I don't look at inside the NBA for a deep analysis. And I think if you are, the problem's with you.
Yes.
I just want to be. I just want to see the chemistry.
And I think their chemistry is great.
I want to see them fuck with each other. Honestly.
Yeah, and that's cool. And it's like it's fine. We can have these different things among basketball discourse. Everything doesn't have to be super nuanced.
Another one.
Oh, I thought he was going to have that one.
That's good. Oh,
Josh.
Yo, Knicks are still playing.
Yo, give me this assist. Come on. Hey!
They're up 41.
Yo.
They're up 41.
Yo, you should take that under 96.
Oh my goodness.
They're up 41 points on the reigning defending NBA champions. Okay, now I feel comfortable saying this.
Boston, man.
I have a friend.
I like that, Brian. I heard you.
I tweeted it out also.
Yes. I have a friend. His name is Darren Sands. He is from Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh. Okay.
He's a Celtics fan through and through, and he's a troll, which is the worst combination you can have in life.
I know what kind of shout out this is gonna be.
Here's all you need to know about Darren.
Yeah.
After Jalen Brunson hit the shot to beat the Pistons in Game 6, he texted me, "That's cute." I haven't heard from him in weeks.
Oh.
And he's like, "That's cute,"
because
he was already on his shit, and I was like, "All right."
So, do you have your text ready for him?
Oh, I sent him Bryan's text about the Rush trying to stop the fight at halftime.
I appreciate that.
That is not, I don't want to call that petty. That is a good comeback. You like, yo, I'm not even gonna send you words. I'm gonna just send you this tweet from somebody else.
Oh,
and just be like, boop.
Oh, but we've been texting back and forth. So like after Game 1, send him some stuff. After Game 2, send him some stuff. After Game 3, he sent me stuff. It's like going back and forth. Like, so funny thing, we were up 3-1. He was like Celtics in 7. And I was like, all right.
Oh, no. I was dealing with that. I was dealing with today. Shout out to Eric Newman, Celtics fan, who was on Knicks Fan TV today, and I hopped on there. And Eric's a great guy, but Eric was out here talking about Celtics at 7 and saying that we were going to have trouble sleeping.
And that's the thing. If you say Celtics is 7 after Game 4, then you can't blame this on injuries because you're doing it after Tatum gets hurt. Fair point. After we've seen KP just look like.
Yes. What's your boy's name again? Darren?
Darren Sands.
Darren, if you are watching, we'd like to know if you think this is cute, because I think the score is very cute.
if they didn't have a title, this would be the type of game that blows up a roster. Type of series.
But you know what's funny, low key?
Come on, I need this. Oh, cat.
They were gonna not blow this roster up anyway, but like
they were gonna make some cost-cutting changes.
Yes.
Yeah, like after they won a title and they announced, hey, we're selling. I wrote a story on Action. I'm like, why are they doing this now? Well, because they're not going to be able to keep the team together for very long. And then we started getting reports about that all year.
Ooh, that's nice.
I think I don't think it's going to be that big, but I think like Drew's
gone. Porzingis is gone.
I don't know, like they'll be on the block.
Horford is gone.
They'll be on the block.
They're on the block.
They have to make some cost-cutting moves, especially.
I don't think
Horford I think might come back.
For the cheap.
Yeah, and then Hauser's the one that I don't think he's
like
back, he's making a decent amount of money.
Yeah, he's on like 10 million. I think.
Got him.
And then Brad Stevens, like they'll just work around the periphery and try to like.
Baylor Shireman.
They called off the dog. Joe called off the dog
because Baylor Shireman is going to be the next Sam Hauser. They're grooming him now. You know,
like, fan favorite.
Is that Torrey Craig too?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Joe called off the dog.
Who we thought the Knicks should have gotten after the
when we were stressing
in the buyout market.
Who are they going to sign in the buyout market?
We did episodes and everyone was like, "Yo, buyout market. What are they going to do?"
And when they didn't do nothing, people were like, "Oh, the
buyout market's overrated."
Jonas Valanciunas, good pass.
It is. You don't get that.
Look up OG.
Does he still get an assist for that, Josh Hart?
No. You don't get that many good buyout guys. The last really good buyout guy was like Kevin Love because he went into a starting role right away. Usually a team's not in a position where they could start a buyout guy, but Kevin wasn't playing.
The buyout market is very overrated. Like they're very, very, very rarely where a guy you pick someone on the buyout market. He's like in your rotation for a title contender.
Yeah, Ben Simmons was a name this year, and
the Clippers went home early.
Every time he dribbled the ball and he was like dart past half court, like Denver was like, "You're gonna shoot?"
No,
you know, like. You're gonna shoot it's the funniest thing. This is why I appreciate when Josh Hart like actually takes it to the rack.
Yes,
because a lot of dudes will look like they're going to when really they're just trying to dribble to the free throw line and just look for something. Like Draymond does this all the time. He's pushing. And it's like, bro, you're not going to the rim.
Not going.
Like we know you're not going to the rim. Come on.
Yo, love the people checking in the chat. I see the excitement. Juliana here, go Knicks. Juliana, just so you know, there was no entanglements with that restaurant. the spot tonight. We'll explain this other time.
Wait a minute.
There's a restaurant here on the banned list. I was told I'm no longer to eat at this establishment.
I learned about this list today.
And Bryan learned about this today. I did not eat at that establishment. That is not happening anymore. Jorge says he does agree with us. However, at first will be entertaining. Michael Jordan, but we'll get over it. Kind of like Tom Brady on Fox. Understood.
Oh, that's a good comparison.
Nick Federico, let's go. Come on. There we go. Simi, I see you're still up watching
here,
the game.
Dev's here, Asher's here as always. Thank you, Asher, for checking in. It's 6-2. Mets scored a run.
Hey, Soto's up. All right, Soto.
I would just like to. Can we note that none of the producers, because they are Yankees fans and they do what they do, did not alert us when the Mets scored another run? But they were sure to tell me when the Mets were down 3-0. Yeah, he said.
But at least one of our producers out there bet on Soto to hit a home run. So we have one more shot.
He's a Yankee fan too. I'm lumping him in the
walked
same group.
3 times in this game, Soto. He's walked 3 times and he actually scored once. So that's underwhelming. Look at Lenny Kravitz, yo.
Lenny Kravitz.
He got one button on his shirt button, just one.
Yo, when you're his age and you can still do that, that is another level of confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's another level of confidence right there. And I like
should have popped up.
Yeah.
Yankees win. The Yankees win.
6-2. All right, now we'll see what happens Saturday and Sunday.
You okay? You okay over there? You're not allowed to say that on the show.
All I said was the Yankees won.
That is it's offensive.
Can I tell you? All right, I will tell you. I will offer you an olive branch. I used to.
This is a trap.
This is such a trap. This is about to be some bullshit.
Such a trap.
You know it's not.
Such a trap.
I would not. I would.
Oh my god.
If it was a trap, I would not say it's an olive branch. I say something else. Listen,
that's what people don't want. That when it's going to be a trap. That's what they would say. Go ahead.
I grew up watching the Mets.
What the hell am I supposed to say for that?
Let me finish.
Okay.
Because you got offended by me quoting John Sterling's famous call.
Balance scoring.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I have respect for all of the Mets announcers. I'm talking about
the best broadcast booth in
Bob Cohen, God rest his soul.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph Kiner. I used to watch Kiner's Corner every Sunday.
What y'all know about that?
Like I said Bob Cohen, Bob Murphy.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Bob Murphy. Bob Murphy was a long time before Gary Cohen was a long time voice of the Mets. God rest his soul. So if you had quoted, made a Ralph Kiner, if the Mets had won and you had you said something that Ralph Kiner used to say or Bob Murphy used to say, I wouldn't have felt the type of way.
You know why?
Because you're a little brother.
Yeah. And y'all just be assholes.
But we won.
We just proved you saw what Nikolai did today. He had to tell me his score early. No other updates.
Would you pull the starters now, by the way?
Yes.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although I would like this Josh Hart triple-double.
I don't think I would have played them this quarter, but you know.
He should have sat Brunson
I would have sat
and Bridges to start the quarter. And if they cut it to 15, you put him back in.
They're not cutting it to 15.
Because shit like this.
Yeah.
Shit like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Tibbs.
Yeah.
Because you're playing against because you got starters against dudes who have nothing, not nothing to lose, but are trying to make a name for themselves.
Well, not even nothing to lose, everything to gain.
Come on, Josh.
Yes.
Come on, Josh.
If you're Torrey Craig,
Craig,
you're trying to get film for your agent to send out because you're trying to get another job next year.
If your agent is putting out film from a blowout in a playoff game, he is not doing right by you. I understand what you're saying, Bryan.
Yeah, you know what
But I understand the point you're making. I'm just saying that agent, come on.
Who is Torrey Craig's agent?
He
almost has a triple-double.
And
you're getting free throws. You need an assist if he makes it.
When does Rick Brunson get up and walk over to Tibbs and say, "Yo, Tibbs"? Because that's when he does it.
I would do it now.
Rick Brunson gets up and goes to. That's going to be look out for that in next season. Also, look out for when it's a blowout where the Knicks will up or down and just wait because Rick Brunson is the one who gets up and says, "Yo, it's time," and then they bring it, and then he empties the bench.
One of Torrey Craig's agents is actually Mark Bartelstein.
Huh?
So, who represents Tyler Kolek?
That is correct.
Among many.
So Josh Hart
others.
is a assist away from a triple-double.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
fair ball.
Out of everybody else,
get it for him. Get him a playoff triple-double.
Yeah, I want to get him to get a playoff triple-double.
Plus 2,500 ticket on this.
I do.
Right?
I had a feeling tonight. I don't really take long shots like that.
So crazy.
But I said that would be my play because I said Josh Hart I thought would show up in a big way.
Probably over his PRA too, if I would guess. Probably would have been like 25 or something.
You know what? My shocking one. You know I've been doing this.
Come
on! Can we get it?
Oh! Plus 2,500. Triple double.
Woo! The call.
My
see, look at the Yankee fan being nice.
Leave the Yankees out of this. Leave baseball out of this.
It's the first night of the Subway Series. It's a great night in New York. Knicks. See, the Yankees fans.
I know OG Anunoby's not going to the scorer's table right now. Okay, he is. Yo, Tibbs is a war criminal.
He's the last.
Tibbs is a war criminal. I know he's not putting OG Anunoby back in the game.
He's legit the last Nick. The last Nick that I would put.
My goodness.
He took his warm-up off.
Tibbs, it's 101.65. What are you doing?
He's like, 33 is not enough.
He's upset with Deuce McBride.
Put Dadier in. Put Kolek in. Is Hawk Purdy healthy?
The Knicks are not blowing a 33-point lead in 9 minutes. They're not.
Yeah. And Jalen Brown's not even playing.
Brown fouled out.
Whatever.
This is insane.
Deuce hit this three so you can sit him back down.
There we go.
The Knicks could miss
every
shot moving forward, and they'll win this game. They can miss every shot.
There you go.
They won't. But
Joe just called a time. Like, Joe knows the game is over.
Hey!
Joe knows the game. Thomas.
Don't show Russell Wilson,
F.
though.
Thibodeau Jr. If you put OG Anunoby in this game, if you put him back in this game,
what are you going to do? Or else what?
I'm going to do absolutely nothing except be very, very upset.
I appreciate the honesty.
Come on. What do we do? Come on. It's 104.68.
There was no reason any Knicks starter.
Knicks starter should be in the game.
The last thing you were playing for was that Josh Hart triple-double. Playoff triple-double, which is, I have no problem playing for him to get that.
Shouted it out. She also said, "Let's go Mets," by the way, in the chat.
Astrid,
we appreciate that.
Well, Mets fans, we need more of you because too much Yankees energy tonight. Too much Yankees. Granted, Shawn was very nice,
and they
with
won.
the kindness corner.
But you know what? I don't like.
I was root for y'all against the Dodgers.
That's nice.
See, I've never hated the Mets,
but I don't hate the Yankees or root against them.
But I understand why a Mets fan would hate the Yankees.
But I don't root against the Yankees.
I approve this. Back
I don't. I was rooting for the Yankees against the Dodgers in the World Series.
And I was like, I want the Dodgers. I hated the Yankees. I want the Dodgers out. I want the Dodgers the fuck out of here. But even so, like, I want, like, when y'all play the Phillies, like, get the Phillies out of here.
Yeah, when the Yankees played the Phillies,
get them out of here. Get them out of here.
Yankees, get the Phillies out of here. Oh no. There was no. I get. I joke with Nikolai and all stuff, and you guys have asshole tendencies, right?
No, we're not asshole tendencies. We're assholes. Yankee fans are assholes. We are.
See,
we are. Self-awareness. We are assholes.
I'm trying to say this.
You know why? It's funny because he made a joke about, we have all these pennants, but most of them in the 1900s. I've seen my team win the World Series 5 times.
You have.
And
I have. I have.
But there are a lot of Yankees.
No, what I'm saying is people my age, like, we see, like, we are assholes. We are assholes. Yeah. Right? However, I wanted y'all to win the 2015 World Series.
But that's also because that's also because you've seen the Mets be like,
I'm a Ravens fan, right? But guess what? Yeah. If the Ravens can't win the Super Bowl, if the team from New York can win the Super Bowl, I'm all for it.
I get that. I think that's how I think I am with baseball too. When I was younger, I really had a strong disdain for the Yankees. Like, I hated them. If they played the Cleveland team, before they changed the name, was calling them another name in terms of logo.
The Native Americans.
I root for them. If they played the Mariners, I was rooting for the Mariners. But then, you know what? There came a couple Yankee players that I actually rocked with and liked. And I was like, you know what? I can't hate on these guys.
I couldn't get around the facial hair policy.
The facial hair policy was annoying.
Oh, stupid.
As a man with a beard.
You know, it was stupid.
I wouldn't try.
The Yankees also need to get rid of the hair length policy too.
That will probably be next.
I think, but see,
wait, how long? What's the length exactly? Is it like shoulder?
It has to be shoulder.
Right?
I think.
What's wrong with long hair?
Ask the Yankees.
You know what it's from? It's from George and Vietnam, that's where it's from.
I mean, but that's coded. But
that's coded. That is coded. But
you know, everybody's look the same. Yeah. Now there are things I like with the Yankees tradition. It's good. You know what I respect the Yankees for doing? And I saw it. I just was in the MLB store today. The Yankees don't need to do nothing with their uniforms. Do you want to see Yankee City Connect jersey?
No.
Yeah. I thought about it.
I think they could pull off a Navy one.
Yes, I would accept the Navy jersey.
I would like
because they wear. That's what they wear at spring training. They wear the Navy jersey. Yeah. But you want to know what grinds my
and people buy that.
gears?
Is it what grinds our gears about in the NBA with teams wearing white on the road?
No, that grinds my gears too. Okay. You know what grinds my gears? When I see Yankee jerseys with names.
With names. I understand that. I get the Yankees fans that are annoyed.
Yankee jerseys should never have names.
I agree.
On my way, I went to get a haircut today. I got off at Harlem and the Metro North, and I saw, because the Yankees were playing today, I saw a dude on the other track, on the other platform. He had a jersey that said DiMaggio 5.
No.
You know what's worse?
Joe DiMaggio's name would never. Never.
I think it's worse when you have it's worse with any jersey, but it's even worse when you have somebody that is from the 40s and 50s of playing with the Yankees. Yes. And you're like, no, that wasn't even a thought. Is
the T-shirt jersey with the name bad also?
I don't like it.
There are Yankee fans that have that too.
I don't like
they have
it.
the navy blue.
I don't mind it on a T-shirt jersey, but if you're going to get a jersey,
if you have the pinstripes,
you can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
No,
you can't do it. You can't because since it's the Yankees, if you have one, it makes having a Yankee jersey convenient. Because,
I'm sorry,
someone else.
Nikolai just said in my ear, people buy what they can afford. And Nikolai, my question to you is, that tells me you have a jersey with a name on the back.
I'm convinced that
Nikolai, don't leave me hanging, Nikolai. I know you do. Okay, I just want to know.
What name?
Which name? Who do you have, Nikolai?
Probably Judge.
Here's to share a jersey.
That's terrible. You know what I would do? Because I know the quote unquote replica jerseys have names and the authentic ones don't. I would buy a replica and I would literally pull each. So remember back when we were kids, when they used to sell, you could buy a Yankee jersey with a jersey with no name or number in the back. Yeah. So I had one of those in high school, and I went to a thing and I put 5 on the back. Like the Navy 5, because 5 is my lucky number. Imagine I went there in 1999. Like, can you put DiMaggio on the back? They'd probably kick me out.
I mean, the man or woman that was working there, they have a dilemma because they could take your money, which it is a business, or they could do the right thing and tell you, you'll get out of here.
Get out.
No, or they could just take your money and be like, you're the one that's gonna look stupid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a business. They still want to take some money. And Nikolai, now that Shawn has brought this up to me,
I'm not buying.
And I understand your point that what you were trying to say is there's a difference between the replicas and the authentics. I feel that we need to blame the jersey makers, which are now Fanatics, right?
Yes.
I feel, to Nikolai's point, not to shame Nikolai, Fanatics should give Nikolai a better option. They should not be making the Yankees jerseys with the names on the back.
I don't know.
Even if it's a replica. Do what you do for the authentic.
But if people buy them.
The problem is people buy them.
Yeah. But that's Nikolai's point. The problem is Nikolai's a Yankees fan. He wants to rock a jersey to the game. He might not say, he doesn't say, I'm not trying to buy a whole bunch of authentic jerseys. He's not getting it. I don't have a whole bunch of authentic jerseys.
If people are
so he's like, yo, I got to get this jersey.
Even if it's me, like if I'm Fanatics, do I want to make those uniforms? I mean, if people are going to buy them, people are going to buy them. You know what I mean?
And Nikolai didn't have another choice.
If people are going to buy them, I'm going to
No, he had a choice. He could have just not bought a jersey. I have not bought a Knicks jersey. I've not bought a Yankees jerseys. That's the only Yankee jersey I own. I have T-shirts because not even T-shirt jersey. I have T-shirts because I'm not buying a jersey that says my son has a Judge. It says it's a shirt. It's the navy blue shirt.
Yeah.
All right, listen. you're gonna outgrow this in 2 years, whatever.
Yeah.
But like when it comes time to get a jersey, if you want a jersey, I'm like, there's not gonna be no name on the back. And we're discussing jerseys because we are busting the Celtics ass.
Yeah, I mean, this is
what we do. Like with Knicks Film School, we be doing trivia right now.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Who do you think actually? This isn't this isn't a trivia question. Although Towns is in, OG
Towns is in. He put Towns and OG back in.
Brunson's
this man
not playing.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, Tibbs, did you take an over that we should know about? Like,
this is crazy.
What's happening right now? We were talking about this in one of our first watch-alongs in the playoffs. So I'll ask you, Shawn, who to you in all your Knick watching life is the most underrated Knick, most underappreciated Knick of your lifetime?
Derek Harper.
Okay.
Oh, that's a name I didn't expect.
I don't even think we talked about him.
Derek Harper would have been Finals MVP if the Knicks won the '94 championship.
I mean, that he had a great series, and you're right about that.
No,
great quick answer. Who was yours next?
I don't think I answered the question, if I'm being honest.
Did you have I made the case for Allen Houston.
I think you did. I don't think I
made the case for Allen Houston because a lot of people,
it's most
they just look at him because
you said
of
most
contract.
Underrated or most underappreciated.
They could be the same thing.
Yeah,
it could be the same.
Sometimes,
I think Derek Harper's underappreciated. I don't know if he's under.
I think Allen Houston's most underappreciated, probably.
I don't think that's crazy.
But I'm after Derek Harper.
You know who I think is the most under. Not the. I think he's the most underappreciated Knick relative to his status. That's a foul and one.
Yeah.
Can we pull the starters, please? Thank you.
Is this guy a point guard?
No.
That's not what I thought you was gonna say.
You were going to say Ross Strickland?
No. Although I think he's getting his flowers now.
Ross Strickland?
No.
Oh.
Wait, hold on.
He gets his flowers. He's getting his flowers in the last 5 years. But underappreciated. And that's why I think it's different because he's not underrated, but he was underappreciated.
Tyson Chandler?
No.
Am I even in the right era?
I was a very big fan of Tyson Chandler.
Am I even in the right era?
No.
Probably not, right?
In the 90s.
Yep.
Is he still living?
Yep. He's at the game right now.
Larry Johnson.
Nope.
This is killing me.
When I tell you, trust me, you know who
we're going to be like, oh.
Yeah, you're
the last 5 years?
Then he's been getting his flowers more in the last 5 years. Like he got his flowers, but now it's like.
And he's played in the 90s.
Yes.
Was he an all-star?
Yes.
Sprewell?
No.
Starks?
No.
No, because that didn't make sense. Starks is got his flowers. It's not the guy who's banned.
Put it to you like this: when he played, he got a lot of crap that he didn't.
Oh.
I think about I look back at it and Ewing, the amount of garbage he got.
We got too big brain with it. It was bro, it's Patrick Ewing.
Yo,
please pull the start. Please get the stars off the
bro.
I'm tweeting this.
Somebody guess it's Anthony Mason. Why are the starters on the floor? I mean, they're precious too, but why are any of the starters?
No one should be in. Come
get
on,
Cat off the
get
floor.
Up, Rick Brunson. I'm begging you, get up. This is insane. He's coaching.
Rick Brunson just got up though. He just got up. Rick Brunson really
like, yo, you're yelling at these.
You're starting the next series Wednesday. 5 days from now, the Pacers are going to have the rest
should not have played a second of this quarter.
Yeah, I said the most you start with them just to see, if the Celtics are going to start bombing threes or whatever. But that's even that. Look at Tibbs.
And the funny thing, I was going to tweet it. I was like, I've probably tweeted this before, so I'm going to retweet it and put tap side.
Man, we got a lot of good comments in here, people, because we had a lot of stuff that we were talking about. Gaza Zone, what's up? It says it's over from first quarter, too easy. Let's go.
It was
Knicks.
over from the first quarter.
Gaza Zone did predict the Knicks to win this series, so we hear you. Knicks to the finals. Now he's predicting them to go to the finals.
They better go to the finals.
This entire Celtics lineup would have been a who he played for at the start of the season.
Yeah, it would.
For the love of God, Tibbs, why are these? I don't understand.
Cat is fighting for rebounds over Torrey Craig.
Is anybody else upset that the three starters are still in this game? Why?
3 starters and your 6th man. Or 7th, I guess, because Mitch.
Get the guys some playoff burn. Tyler Kolek is sitting there like, why is my warm-up jersey still on? Okay, guys are coming out now.
I'm gonna tweet out free.
Maybe he wanted the guys to get an ovation.
They could have did that. And he could have did that.
I tweeted.
Like, listen.
I tweeted free Tyler Kolek.
I'm not gonna complain. I have very little complaints about a game that we're winning by 34 points. But it's just like, why did you think Why did you think you needed to keep these starters in this game? Why did they have to not play a minute of the fourth quarter?
What's the statement here?
I pray that somebody asks him that.
It's Xavier Tillman.
Yes, I want someone to ask him that. Someone should ask him, like, Tom, here comes PJ Tucker. Why did you think that you need to play your guys up 30 going into the fourth quarter?
They won't even play PJ. Yo, Mikhail's still and OG
is still
Someone should take. Well, then I could take a foul. All right, Precious. Yeah, Precious. You can do stuff.
Yeah.
There we go.
Get that
Someone take a foul.
Somebody just take a foul.
Take a foul.
There you
go. There you go.
Thank you. Oh, PJ Tucker campaign.
Yo, Tibbs is pissed. Tibbs is angry at some of these. He's angry.
Yeah.
Look at Rick. Rick is like, yo, my man. My man.
Rick Brunson is shrugging. Tibbs is,
yo. God bless Tom Thibodeau.
Yo, he's pissed off. He's leading by 34 in a closeout game against the Celtics, like third team.
The Celtics have 78 points.
4 minutes left. Yo. Rick Brunson got his palms.
Get Deuce out of there. We need Deuce.
Deuce needs to get out the game too.
Baylor Shireman.
Oh,
Kada.
Yo, Bill Simmons talking about we should play Kada.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, my man.
Kada's not bad.
I mean,
Tibbs will put him in the mix.
This ain't the
not
matchup.
Tibbs.
No.
Mitchell to put him in the $1 million dream.
But that's how bad. That's
smooth. That's how bad it was.
No. I was gonna say that's how bad Porzingis has been.
Yo,
when he mentioned $1 million dream, the visual. The visual of Tom Thibodeau putting Nevis Kada in the fucking Cobra Clutch.
Oh my goodness!
Back and forth.
Oh man!
Yeah, I know the rest of the comments really are not.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm surprised we got this little wrestling talk in here. Please get Deuce McBride out.
Please get Deuce McBride out.
No, please clip me this part. Clip me this part. I just want it.
Yo, Tibbs in the middle. Put someone in $1 million dream.
Preferably with some sort of artistic visual to accompany it. Of Tibbs over Ted DiBiase's body.
Oh my goodness! All right, here comes Tyler Kolek.
Oh, Dev is asking for predictions of the next series. I need to do more homework.
I'll give one before on the post game. Stay tuned for the post game.
That series would stun me if it didn't go at least 6. I really like the Pacers, and obviously, like this Knicks team is playing much better.
Sham it. Yeah, I listen. Okay, I did not make a prediction for the Celtics series, but I thought the Celtics would win, but I knew the Knicks could. The Pacers are going to be annoying.
They're going to be,
They are going to be annoying. And listen, they're good. And I do not like Tyrese Halliburton.
No, you do tell us why you don't like him.
A lot of Knicks fans don't.
No, I mean, like, no, but it was before any Knicks stuff. It was just like, well, it was like, whatever. I don't want to get into it. I'll get into it. Listen, like he engineered his fall in the draft to 8, and then when they played the first time we played the Kings against him and we beat them, and he tweeted the Kermit the most. Yeah, it was like, yo, you wanted to go to Sacramento.
I wanted the Knicks to draft. That's
when you engineered your draft fall, and
I was high on him then too. Yeah.
Like, don't engineer your draft fall and then be like, I can name all the teams that passed on me. It's like, but you wanted to pass. Like, you told teams not to draft you. That's number one. Then NBA Twitter fell in love with him, and they started saying he was next Steve Nash.
Early.
or the next CP3.
Yeah.
And he can't beat anyone off the dribble. And and then he's also a troll. And it's like, all right. And so, and then last year, like, yo, if you're gonna wear the Reggie shirt before the game, not after.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I remember saying that also. I kind of wish he wore it before, just to,
that series will go 7.
Yeah, I think it's.
But
at least 6,
I have a tweet about what happens but you know something, Tyrese Halliburton, you would not have to face more than 7 healthy Knickerbockers. Like you went to 7.
Let's hope it stays that way.
You went to 7.
right.
You went to 7 against a team with no OG. Yep. I was thinking the same thing. That's a foul.
He got fouled.
Like so. I just like even. Let's see how it goes.
I'll say this: Pacers are better now than last year.
They're better
because they could actually defend. That's going to be the difference now. How the Knicks navigate
I think
that.
still,
I think it's close.
We'll
like,
get into
I think even odds wise, it's going to be like I'll look right away. Believe me. I think odds wise is going to be very close. I expect the Knicks to be slight favorites because of home court.
Yep.
Even with the rest disadvantage, but like as we've seen, as Sam House was about to pick his nose clearly on camera. As we've seen, like rest over rust. The rest doesn't always matter.
No,
you know?
I will say this. Remember all those people?
Which you should like if you want the Knicks to win game 1.
Remember the people at the end of the year who were like, "Oh, Knicks should like maybe drop to avoid teams."
Yo, I
don't like
that loser mentality.
I don't like that. They were saying that last year too.
Yeah, and they were wrong. They'll always be wrong with that. You played to win as many games as you can.
They're singing the Celtics goodbye.
Hey,
goodbye.
It's loud.
Listen, any day Boston.
The Knicks fans haven't got to sing that at home in 25 years.
Did Tyler Kolek just wave bye-bye after that 3? God. Look, he might get minutes next year. Might have to.
No, he's going to get minutes because I think Cameron Payne's one and done.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also said this, like
PJ score, yo.
Yeah, I want PJ.
PJ got a ring
all the way.
No, it's funny. He'll make the pass.
Yeah.
Ooh. Precious did too much.
PJ's been in a lot of deep playoff runs. A lot of them. He can't play no more because he's only in the league still because the Sixers gave him that contract.
25 years.
Knicks fans, you should be happy. 119 to 81.
I think Campaign just carried and traveled.
Probably.
And the refs are just like,
If you call that, don't call that.
They can't show the bottom of his shirt because it says "We built for this shit." Tracy Morgan.
It's like they carry him in. It was like put tight, going tight. Knicks win this 119 to 81. Going to the conference finals for the first time in 25 years. You see Tom Tibodeau there. Some of y'all wanted him out. That man is now coaching these Knickerbockers in the conference finals, first East Finals since 2000. Man, I remember where I was and what I was doing watching that series against the Pacers. Ironically, against the Pacers.
All I'm gonna say is this: again, the Knicks have won the Eastern Conference twice in my lifetime. Both times, guess who they beat?
Pacers.
The Indiana Pacers.
Yep.
How many
94, 99.
How many conference finals have they played in against each other? Because
2.
They got them twice. Did the Pacers get them?
3.
2000
they got them.
2000 they got them.
Okay.
And they lost them in the semifinals in 95.
But there are a bunch more playoff series like in the semifinals.
Yeah, they play like 6 times.
Yeah. Look, I'm excited for this matchup, man. I'm so excited for this matchup. This is a classic matchup.
Yes.
I can't wait to talk to people about it. I saw some people on the Knicks staff that I know that I'm happy for these workers that get to continue to work here. That's good. That look like me in my high school locker room.
Facts.
Basketball.
Facts.
Lisa Salters, shout out.
Shout out to you, Lisa Salters. And loving the leather jacket.
Yes.
But look, man.
I think TNT's getting the Eastern Conference Finals.
They are. So Reggie's calling the games, which is dope.
Which is great, yeah.
Because there's nothing more I want than the Knicks have some big threes and Josh Hart or somebody's just pointing at Reggie Miller. This is all we want. Knicks fans, you should be thrilled. You should be happy about this. Absolutely. Shawn was on a 1 in terms of nervousness when we started the broadcast. He's probably at a 10 in terms of excitement. This is a great day for the Knicks. They closed out. They did what they were supposed to do. This is a great playoff run. This is why you have to let teams build. You have to let teams develop. You can't panic. And now you get to enjoy this.
Yes.
You're on in the East Finals. The Knicks can legitimately are 4 wins away from the NBA Finals, people.
Listen.
4 wins.
The championship is wide open. It's wide open.
It is.
Like, I mean, there's Denver and OKC.
Mm-hmm.
There's Minnesota.
Say it. Do you want it? I want it.
I will take it.
I want a Minnesota Knicks Finals.
Listen,
I want it.
If shout out to Jeff Johnson, who said if we get a Knicks Timberwolves Finals, the Cat for Julius trade is the greatest win-win trade in NBA history.
It also shows you we don't always have to rush to do these things where it's like there has to be a winner, there has to be a loser of the trade. Both teams seem to have won in this trade, and sometimes guys just need changes of scenery. And the Knicks, and it takes time to build with that. So you're seeing the Knicks do this. Great performance today by Jalen Brunson. We'll get into all this. Bryan Lewis of the Post will be joining us pretty soon. We got to get you with your earpiece so you're situated, so you can hear Bryan when he comes on. I'm gonna have this on.
Thank
get
you,
this
sir.
for you.
Stephen A. Smith went up to dap Jalen Brunson.
No comment.
You know people are gonna be mad about that.
No comment.
Well, people are gonna be mad about that.
Why?
But you know why.
You know why.
Well,
I said rule number 1. You can always be mad. So it's good. We got some people in the comments here. The Celtics mops the floor. I assume you meant floor, the ringer, with this team in the regular season. Arrogance is why they're being slaughtered now. Smooth Will thought we were going to talk about Anthony Mason as the most underrated Knick. He thought about that. So here we go. Smooth Will, you are a big-time Lisa Salters fan.
Big time.
Yeah. Now we're looking at stuff from 2000, the last time the Knicks went to the conference finals.
Beat Miami's ass.
And it's a good time. It's a good time. And look, the Knicks starters played great. Let's go Knicks. Nuggets showing us the Thunder ain't monstrous. Shit. How are you feeling in the chat? How are you feeling about this matchup with the Pacers? How are you feeling about all that? Because this is fantastic feeling for Knicks fans right now. Gotta be excited. You gotta enjoy this. 119-81 is.
Can't believe we beat them by 38 points.
Yo,
I don't think anybody had that.
This morning I looked at Celtics under 95.5 and 98, 96 and a half.
You looked at it.
I looked at it. I was like, they're gonna score like 100. But this is amazing.
It's amazing. So we're gonna recap here, and this is the post game edition of New York Got Game live with the watch party. We thank everybody for tapping in. Knicks win 119-81 over the Celtics in Game 6. They advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they will play the Indiana Pacers. All 5 Knicks starters in this game in double figures. Led
Tibbs played them too much
by 23 points. Yeah, we're gonna talk to the great Bryan Lewis about that shortly. 23 points for Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby, 22 for Mikal Bridges, 21 for Karl-Anthony Towns, who was fantastic early in this game. And then Josh Hart doing Josh Hart things. 10 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists.
Cash it.
Your boy called the triple-double. So you know what it is.
Amazing
119-81.
Drinks on you after this?
I'm not saying all that. Well, why not? Why not? I'm not saying all that. Knicks win by 38. I don't think anybody saw this coming. But what we did have coming is our guy, Bryan Lewis, who has joined us after every Knicks game here. Well, most of the Knicks games, I say, throughout the playoffs. And he joins us again to talk about it. Bryan, what's going on?
What's up, man? How y'all feeling?
Feeling great. Was this such a relaxing night that you didn't have to worry about, maybe you were able to fall asleep in the fourth quarter? You know what I mean? You just took a little bit of a break. You have to worry about too many things. Did you see this coming? This kind of performance?
Oh no! Listen, I'm not gonna lie and sit here and tell you I saw this coming. I'll tell you when I thought that they were gonna win. You remember that play where Mitch covered 4 different guys and then sealed off Brown in the corner?
Yep. And he tried to sell us out.
Yes.
I said they got something for him today. That's when I thought they were gonna win. That is the moment I said, "Oh no, this is a different kind of defense they're playing tonight." Now, and I get it. Listen, the Celtics are a great team. Celtics great franchise. And the Celtics, they're missing their best player, and their third best player is clearly, not himself, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, why would the Knicks care about that? That is not the Knicks' problem. The Knicks' issue was getting to their first conference final in a quarter century, and that's what they did.
That's what they accomplished tonight. There's a lot of praise you could throw around with this team tonight here in Game 6, Bryan. Who really stood out to you in terms of impressing you with what they came? I think for me, I would say it was Karl-Anthony Towns. I love how he started this game. I thought he played his most complete game of the series. Was there a player that you really stood out to? Because I love that play that you signaled where you said you knew they were going to win this game, but is there a player performance that stood out for you tonight?
Overall, I would say Cat, just because, we've sat here and discussed it so many times, wanting to see that kind of aggression, and he's shown it in spurts, but wanting to see that kind of aggression displayed and then maintained throughout the game, not come out on fire the first 6 minutes and then go hide after that, but to see him perform that way with that level of intensity throughout, that was impressive. Now, if you're talking about just an individual play, not a player, I would say either that, that play by Mitch or, the rundown block, which then leads to Hart getting the and one on the other side to put him up by 20. That was a great play, singular.
Yeah, no, that was a great play. I don't think, everybody here, myself, Bryan, you, Shawn, let me check. Did you pick the Knicks to win the series?
So I didn't make a pick because I was scared. But I said it earlier. Like I thought the Knicks could win, but I thought the Celtics would win the series. I will say that. Okay. I thought the Celtics would win this series.
Okay, so the point I'm making, Mr. Lewis, is a lot of us, I know all of us on the post staff, nobody picked the Knicks to win. Okay, nobody picked the Knicks to win here. They win this game. I think we talked about how important this series would be in terms of evaluating this team, evaluating the head coach. What are your evaluations, or what do you think fans, media, all of us should have learned from what the Knicks did here, winning the series 4-2 over the Celtics?
This team's got a lot of heart. This team's got stones. They outperformed what I expected from them in both series, if you'll recall. They closed out the Pistons a game earlier than I thought that they would. I did not think that they would win this series. And not only win it, but they don't even have to go back to Boston to do it, to win this in 6. They've outperformed what I anticipated them doing. And now listen, this was their most, I think it was their most lopsided playoff win ever. And it's in my mind, obviously their most important playoff win in 25 years.
Yep.
There are very few, nits for me to pick with what they've done so far.
And fans have been wanting to see this kind of, it's a wire-to-wire victory they had here. Fans have been waiting for this because none of these games have been easy. That's why I said I thought you could have took a nap. We were here in the fourth quarter talking about all kinds of things that had nothing to do with the game, except for one thing, Bryan, which we got to ask you about.
Oh, you guys weren't discussing how long Tibbs was going to leave?
Yes, this is where we're going. Yes. What is Tibbs doing?
Walking off.
Are we tripping because we're like, what is Tibbs doing having the starters out here with 8 minutes to go? What was he doing? Can you make it make sense?
No, that's the answer, Bryan. I don't get it. That's the answer.
I don't get it. Brunson
and Bryan, he was pissed off too. He was mad.
He was actively coaching.
No. Tom Tibodeau. He was pissed off. Like they were showing close-ups, and he was like scowling when he had his starters out there with 8 minutes left.
Like Joe Mazzulla clearly waiting for white flag.
5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes.
He just wouldn't take him. Which, listen, I don't get that. Now listen, like I said, he won. He outperformed what I thought against Detroit. He outperformed what I thought here. There's only been so much I can criticize, but I don't understand that. I mean, the Pacers have been sitting there since May 13th, right? So 3 days off, and they go 11 deep in the playoffs when everybody else is there shortening their rotation.
Mm.
And that's a team that loves nothing more than to run up and down the court. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
The wear down effect. That's how the Pacers play. So I would think, when you beating a team by damn near 70, you would actually, I don't know, just take the starters out and let a guy get a little rest. Yeah.
Bryan, I'm just saying, if something had happened, if a player had gotten hurt, that would have been the first question we talked to you about.
Second,
that would have been the lead of it. Would have been the back page tomorrow, which would have been terrible. Maybe I'm being a little bit much there, but you get the point.
Yes, you're right. Anytime
that
their players are on the floor, there is a chance for injury. I was not even thinking injury, which is, probably nuts because, Tatum's injury was pretty impactful on this series. I'm just thinking just in terms of rest.
Right.
I'm just thinking in terms of going into a series where you're playing like 7 and you're going against a team that plays 11 deep and they run and they press for 48 minutes if you let them. And they have 3 extra days of rest on you.
Yeah.
Now, who knows? Maybe these guys are just so well conditioned. And I'm going to readily admit, I am not around them that much, right? Maybe they're just so well conditioned, it won't matter. That's possible, and that may very well be what he's counting on. He knows his team better than anybody else. Maybe he just figures these guys are in such good shape. Won't matter. We can keep pace with the Pacers. No harm, no foul.
I hope so.
Well, yes, exactly.
One can only hope. If we look, I think we're all started looking towards this Pacers series, and fans are quickly going to turn their attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you just talked about the depth of the Pacers? I think the three of us sitting here, we all respect the Pacers. We know they are a very good team. This is a team that beat the Knicks last year in this conference semifinals. Knicks looking for some revenge. This is also a very classic Eastern Conference rivalry. What do you like? The Knicks, I think, would be favored in this. Bryan, I don't know if you've checked the odds yet. The Knicks would likely be favored in this. Do you think they should be favorites, and do you believe the Knicks can win this series against the Pacers?
I think they'll be favored. As you know, I'm not the biggest betting guy in the world, but I would be moderately surprised if they're not favored. I certainly think the Knicks can win it. There's no reason for me to think that the Knicks can't beat Indiana. Now, with all due respect to Missoula, I think Carlisle's a better coach. I have the utmost respect for Carlisle. So that'll be a little bit more of a challenge. I mean, when you watched the Pacers series, how he adjusted and had them screening harder, after in game 4, and the way he picked apart the Cavs 3-2 zone, and, the way they kind of abused a much bigger and stronger, but slower, Cavs front court along the baseline. I mean, he's really good, man. He's really good. And the way the Pacers have played, the way their defense, that full court defense, has kind of taken off, halfway, 2/3 of the way through the season. I think there is a natural inclination for people, fans, whatever, to look at the records and look at the seedings and say, hey, that's I don't want to say inferior team, but not that great. But when you look at the way they've played for the last 2/3 of the season, they've been damn good. It just took them about 1/3 of the season to figure out what they were doing. So I would be certainly worried about that team. Again, I'm not saying that the Knicks can't win. I'm not even saying that the Knicks shouldn't be favored, because I think they will be. Justifiably so. But I wouldn't take them for granted.
I feel like this is the perfect time for you, Bryan, because we tried to get you to do this in the Detroit series, but it might be the time for you to say Knicks in 4. I feel like now is the time. I just feel like now's the time, Mr. Lewis. Just say Knicks in 4.
See, I missed my opportunity because what I should have done before this whole thing started was give you a Moses Malone faux. That's what I should have done from the very beginning.
Yes.
That's what I should have done. I missed my opportunity there.
You almost had it there. Guys, any questions?
Yeah, we have an update on the series price. So the Knicks are actually favored to win. They're minus 140 though, so it's close. Pacers are plus 120. That's for the series. And as far as game 1 goes, the Knicks are favored, obviously, because they're at home, minus 3.5. So it's close. And we'll see how that moves because there's I'm telling you, a lot of time between now and Wednesday. But that's going to move definitely. I don't know what direction we'll see.
I don't know, but anytime the Knicks are involved, there will be a lot of money invested. So
a lot of public money,
especially this deeper into the playoffs. Bryan, I want to ask you just stylistically because you mentioned the pace. And we saw this play out last year, but this is a different Pacers team this year because they could actually defend. Last year they couldn't. This year they actually have they had a slightly higher rated defense than the Knicks at the end of the year. Do you think the balance is going to be a problem? Because this isn't a team that's just going to run up and down, but they could also create shots from different parts of the floor, and the Knicks are going to have to adjust not just to the pace, but to the balance of their offense.
Yes, they'll have to adjust to the balance of the offense, and I'm not sure that I'm not quite sure that the Pacers ever figured out what their defensive identity was last year. By the end of the year, I still am not sure. And that was still a damn good team. But they were good based on what they were doing on one end of the floor. This team, I'm telling you, their pressure defense is effective. They gave the Cavs backcourt trouble, and that backcourt is good.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're a much better defensive team than the team that the Knicks faced a year ago. I don't even think that you can really compare them. But as we talked about that, year to year, even if you don't make huge, glaring, seismic changes on your roster, each year your team still kind of takes on a little bit of a different identity.
Yep.
And this Pacer team has somewhat of a different identity than last year.
Yeah, and one of the things from the Celtics series that just completed was one of Tibbs' adjustments was to switch more. And the thing that the Pacers killed Cleveland on was those switches. Cleveland was switching more. They didn't do that much switching during the regular season, and the Pacers were killing them on switches. So are we expecting the Knicks to revert back to what they were doing defensively beforehand, maybe something closer to the Pistons series? Or do you think they're going to, because this kind of worked against Boston, are they going to be switching more, and is that dangerous?
Well, it's hard for me to tell you what he will do. It wouldn't shock me if we see him revert somewhat. But again, what we see in game 1 probably will not be what we see in game 3. You know that. That's how it is.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It's chess. You do this, I respond here.
Yep.
That's typically what we see. But you are right. You're absolutely right. They did kill them. They did kill Cleveland on those switches. And it's also just not something that Kenny likes to do. Right? It's not in his DNA. Right? He'll sooner go zone than he will switch. He wants to sit and drop. And that was when he didn't have 2 7-footers.
And they tried zone too. The Pacers killed that also.
Yeah, they were trying to 3-2, and that's what I'm saying. They tried the 3-2, and then Carlisle adjusted to that.
Yeah.
Adjusted well, might I add. So, I mean, he's a problem.
I love that you brought up Carlisle, and I'll Shawn, if you have any questions for Bryan, we'll ask too. But I do feel like we talked before the series started, Bryan, so much about Tom Thibodeau, who I think had coached a good series here.
Oh, yeah.
Knicks fans have been on top of some, not all Knicks fans. Some Knicks fans have been on top of him. He's had his criticisms. No coach is perfect. We know that. How good of a series do you think he coached? And do you believe more in the long-term prospects of this organization with Tom Thibodeau as head coach?
I thought he coached. I thought he was fine this series. I had no.
Yeah, I thought he coached a damn good
There's
series.
little you quibble with this or quibble with that, and I know we get on the minutes and so forth,
Right?
Which is just more of a pet peeve. But there's no way I can look at this and say he didn't have an outstanding series.
I agree.
And if you're asking me, do I think that they're in good hands with Tibbs? Yes, I do. Now again, I'm not going to get into, his job security and fired or extended. That's not, again, with all due respect, you'd have to bring Steph on here for that because I would be overstepping. What I would tell you is I would feel if I were a Knicks fan, right? Not telling Knicks fans that are out there how they should feel, but if I were a Knicks fan, I would feel confident with my team in his hands. And you never want to see players get hurt, ever. But I would feel like this is a golden opportunity when I look at how bad the East is overall, because it's bad. And then it just got opened up even more.
Yep.
Right? Between Tatum, between Dame, and I'm going to extend this to next year. Right?
As you should.
The East is wide open, as open as it's been in quite some time. You have a golden opportunity in front of you. Golden. And sometimes that's luck. Sometimes luck is a residue of design. But listen, they've got not only a chance to make a final, but they've got probably this year and next year to really make a dent and try to get a championship. Which, let's be fair, you traded 5 first-round picks for Mikal, and you spent not quite $250 million, but whatever, 200 some odd million on OG to give yourselves a wing tandem that could deal with this Boston team. Right? Okay. They did that. Now
they did what you built them to do.
Team, keep going.
I agree. I think Tibbs did a good job in the series. I know there'll still be some, and I get it's not going to be easy series against the Pacers, Brian. When the Knicks, if they lose a game, right? Even though I know internally you're saying Knicks in 4. If they do lose a game, you're going to get the fans are going to be like, "Oh, it's Tibbs' fault," because it was Tibbs' fault in Game 5, but Tibbs will get none of the credit for them playing well and having his team prepared for Game 6. I think he deserves more credit than some people have given him, but that's it. Shawn, you got anything for Brian?
Yeah, one quick question, Brian. You talked earlier about the Pacers playing 11 guys, and the Knicks basically played 7. We didn't see we didn't see campaign until the fourth quarter in garbage time, and since Game 1 of the Pistons series, his performances have left something to be desired here and there. Do you think the Knicks can get away with playing 7 against this Pacers team that's going to play 11, or are the Knicks 7 good enough to get those 9, 10, 11 players in the Pacers rotation out of there so it's 8-on-7? Or do we need to see a campaign or a, dare I say, DeLon Wright? Can they win this game? Can they win this series with 7 guys?
If they beat the Pacers up physically, I mean, if they just take him and smack him around and they're out rebounding him by 25 and it's a gentleman's sweep, then yeah, I guess. Or if they can somehow drag, and it's not like the Knicks are glacial, but if they can drag the Pacers down to their pace, no pun intended, then again, yeah. I'm not sure that I would count on either of those things happening. So if this is, a competitive series, if this is a 7-game series, right, where you're sitting back at the Garden for Game 7, I think it's asking a lot for 7 to play against 11. If this is going to be if you look up in 3 games in, you've played at the Pacers' frenetic Red Bull speedball pace the entire time.
You're in trouble.
I mean, you probably have to play. I would think you would almost have no choice but to play 8, even if you don't want to. But then again, I'm not Tibbs.
Well, we know this because you would have took the starters out a lot earlier. we know. It's crazy because Shawn just mentioned campaign. He even mentioned DeLon Wright, and I didn't think DeLon Wright's name was going to get mentioned for the conference finals. But I don't think it's crazy that you did that.
He could defend
because he can defend.
What he's in the league for.
Yeah,
and I guess to follow on Shawn's question, which I think was a really good one, Bryan, is: do you have any level of confidence that Tibbs would make the adjustment to play 8, or dare I even say 9? And I'm probably going too far with 9.
I think 9 is. I mean, 9's a bridge too far. I mean,
yes, probably. I figured.
Let's baby steps.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, he's. Listen, Tibbs. He's stubborn, but he's a damn good coach. I mean, again, if he's sitting there, and games 1 and 2 are played the way the Pacers want to play, and I'm an advanced stat guy, but the advanced stats may not even show how fast Indiana really is. The eye test does, though. So when he's sitting on the sideline, he sees what's going on. So if he sees that these games are up and down, played the way the Pacers want to play, yeah, at that point, he probably, and especially if the Knicks lose one of those 2, you would think he would at that point have no choice but to at least go 8. And when I say 8, I mean legitimate minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a cameo.
Yeah, like 10, 15 plus.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. Right. Not where you've seen some campaign in single digits, 6, 7
No,
minutes.
I'm not.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not talking about 2 minutes and 17 seconds. I mean, actually playing a guy. I would think at that point he would have no choice. Now, again, if they bludgeon the team first 2 games and they're played at the Knicks pace, and again, not to say that the Knicks want to play at a glacial pace, but they certainly don't want this to look like a 4x1. Then he might try to steal minutes and say, "Oh yeah, I can get away with 7." So I guess my answer to you is it depends on game flow and how those things end up working out.
We shall see. It should be a fun one. I'm going to tell you now because we're all going to have to put in our picks at the post. Just be the person that says Knicks in 4, man. I will join you if you do it, Bryan. Like if you do it. I will be. I'm heading out of town. I'll be back on Wednesday, and when we talk, I will see your picks early. We'll see what Bondi does. We'll see what Bryan says. Shawn, are you willing to say Knicks in 4?
No.
Oh. Bryan, early Knicks in 4?
No.
Is anybody here willing to say Knicks in 4?
Look, they may win the series. It will not be in 4 games.
Okay.
I definitely can see them winning this series. I don't want to make it sound like
finish the sentence and say in 4, Bryan. Say in 4. Oh my God. I'm messing with
Knicks. I will give you this. Knicks in 4 plus an undisclosed number.
Way to get out of there.
You know what? Can't say that he didn't say Knicks in 4. He added some words at the end. We would have liked the exclamation point at the end. But he had ...
He has Nixon over 3.5.
That's what Bryan said. Nixon over 3, which is the only way you can win a series. But that's
correct.
Yeah, it's the only way to win a series.
I definitely can see them win. I mean, and again, I think it's also helpful that Mikal has played defensively as well as he has played. Because in the regular season, now again, I don't know what he's going to do, but in the regular season, if memory serves me. Again, you'd probably have to defer to Steph on this one, but if memory serves me, Mikal was on him more than anybody else.
You mean Halliburton?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so having him locked in and playing defensively the way he has played, That's vital. Because, I mean, he is still the engine. And I get it. There's a lot more balance now than there was. But he is still the engine that drives them. They've just done a good job of drafting and trading and signing guys that accentuate what he does. So it's going to be incumbent upon Mikal to probably play a lot of minutes and play them well.
He's done that lately. He did that in this series.
Yes.
You're not hearing a lot of people. You're not hearing a lot of people complain about Mikal anymore. He's definitely stepped it up on the defensive end. And then even today, looking at his numbers here today, 22 points, 9 of 15 shooting, 4-7 from downtown, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He was good, man.
He was very good. He was very good.
I think you're right to point him out as one of the, maybe the X factor, one of the X factors in this upcoming series. I mean, he's probably going to be the X factor for the Knicks as far as they go throughout this playoff run. So we'll see.
He has to deal with Halliburton. He can't let Halliburton wreck games for them. I mean, I think it's probably also listen, part of their defense is going to be their offense, right? I mean, they have to break the press, right? So they can't be giving up, live ball turnovers and having guys go the other way.
Right.
I think it's incumbent upon them to have probably a better shooting percentage than they had in this series against Boston and get to the line because, I mean, the Pacers obviously are going to run on misses. I mean, that team runs on makes, but it's a lot more challenging to run off of free throws. So it's the more free throws that they can get actually helps their defense a lot. So yeah, their defense is actually going to start with how well they execute on offense. But when Halliburton is in transition, Mikal's going to have to keep up with him. And in the half court, Mikal is going to have to fight through screens because, as I said, the Indiana screened okay games 1 through 3, but they screened a lot harder game 4 and 5. So, it's going to be incumbent upon him to fight his way through those and keep up with that guy because Halliburton he's the end all be all to what they do.
Yeah, we'll see if Bridges can shut him down. It's going to be a fun series in the next one, Bryan. We are going to let you go. Enjoy the rest of your night. That was a fun one. You get some rest, which the Knicks are going to try to do over the next couple of days, and we will talk to you after game 1.
Oh, yeah. Talk to you then.
All right. Thanks, Bryan. That is Bryan Lewis, great sports reporter here for the New York Post, joining us here on the post game. We're going to go for a couple of more minutes here. Look at some of the comments in the chat. We got a prediction here. Someone said I got Knicks in 6. So we got Knicks in 6 here. Smooth Will says if the Knicks win the title this year in my adult lifetime, I will literally cry from happy emotion.
I think a lot of people will. To be honest with
you. Understood. A lot of people have been waiting for this a long time.
Yeah. A lot of people have never seen it.
Never.
I would probably say the majority of the Knicks fan base has never seen it.
Right?
Never seen it.
It's going to be a special moment when it happens. We don't want to get too far ahead of myself. You know how I am, one game at a time.
Yeah.
And I do agree with a lot of the points Bryan made on this. I do think this is going to be a fantastic series. I do not think it's going to be easy for the Knicks. I'll give my prediction right now, because y'all won't see me on these cameras for a while. Knicks in 6. I'm going Knicks in 6.
6.
Yeah, I'm going Knicks in 6.
Okay. Can you walk us through
why?
How you're getting there? Yes.
Yeah, I just think the Knicks. I think part of my feeling on this a lot has to do with the fact that I think this team right now is on a mission. I think they're playing really good basketball. I think this always. I sound like a broken record on this. I believe so much in the leadership of Jalen Brunson around this team, and I think he knows that they slayed the Dragon. They slayed the champs.
I have something on that.
That is not the end all be all, and he will keep them focused on this. I also think the revenge factor here of the Knicks losing last year to this team, for the guys that were still on this team, I think they're going to want to do this. I think what the Knicks have, I think the Knicks just have more versatile options offensively and defensively. Now, I do get worried a little bit about the Pacers' pace, no pun intended, and the fact they can pressure the ball full court. This is where I think this could be a huge series for Josh Hart again. Because I think if they try, this is going to be a lot what we saw with Cleveland a couple of years ago, where they're trying to blitz Brunson a lot early. Josh Hart can be that release valve guy. What helped the Knicks a lot there too, though, is they had Isaiah Hart inside, another center that could also help pass as well.
Yeah.
Now, Cat's a good passer. This is where I'm going to be very intrigued when we start talking about this next week.
Yeah.
He's a guy who has to keep his turnovers low. You cannot give the Pacers transition opportunities.
Yeah.
If the Knicks play well where they are, where they're pretty good when they can, taking care of the ball, I think this is a great series for them. Because they can take care of the ball, because of their offensive versatility, because of guys like OG, because of guys like Mikal. I just think the Knicks starting five is a little bit more talented. But one area of concern I have is a little bit about what Bryan talked about. It's that depth.
Yep.
And will Tom Thibodeau adjust to the depth of the Pacers when they're playing 11?
When they're playing every other night.
Yes.
No more 2 days in between games.
Great point.
That's why it was important to avoid Game 7.
Which is where, look, I think this is a series where you can buy time for campaign. And campaign should be able to give you 12 to 15 minutes. And you should be okay.
Maybe.
Should. Keyword is should.
Maybe. Or Indiana might see him and be like, oh.
Well, but here's my thing. You got to worry about, we talked about how you got to worry about Peyton Pritchard in the series. TJ McConnell is like, he's
the one. He's the one that's gonna piss Knicks fans off.
Yeah, he's gonna piss him off, but he knows how to do his job in the minutes that he's given in spurts, and that's where I want to see Ken Tibbs adjust to this. I just think these games are not going to be easy.
They're not,
but I think I trust this Knicks team in crunch time. What I'm very intrigued to see in the series is games 1 and 2. The Knicks need a game in one of those 2 games. They need to win both. They need to feel good like they did last year at the end of the first 2 games. But they need to win both. And one of those games needs to look not exactly like tonight, but somewhat like tonight.
Comfortable
it's
win.
Comfortable.
Yes.
I think it's ideal if it's game 1. Because I think if they have a comfortable win in game 1, that building off of this will have them focused in their momentum riding high. But I do think the team will be focused. I do think Indiana will push them in a couple of games. I just trust this team in the clutch. I think they're a more talented team, top to bottom. The depth is the only thing that worries me. Tibbs has to make the adjustment. This is another test for him in adjustments.
Oh, yeah.
Can he adjust to the depth?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going Knicks in 6. What do you say?
I'm going Knicks in 7 because
why are you out here? Why are you out here asking for stress?
Because you know why? It's not that I ask for stress. It's just that when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And this team.
Oh, I thought I gave. I actually thought you were going to talk about the Pacers. And say
no.
You're like, this team will do this to you.
No. The New York Knicks refuse to take the path of least resistance.
That is the Knicks way.
That's how they do it.
Yeah.
That's how this team does. Listen, they're gonna trick off a game that they have no business tricking off for no good reason. There's probably gonna be a very comfortable win in this series for the Knicks, like a 15, 20-point win. Because there's going to be a game when Tyrese Halliburton decides he doesn't want to shoot today and he has like 6 points on 2 of 9 shooting, whatever.
Yeah. He might have 14 assists, though.
Yeah.
Could see that.
But, so of everything I've seen of this team, where, listen, this was the Knicks did not play well in this series until game 5. Like, in this series, they put a solid performance together game 5.
4.
Second half.
No.
I think what he means is a complete.
Like game.
I think they played well in game 4.
They played well in game 4.
Well,
second.
They lost.
Yes, game 4. You're right.
Sorry,
Game 4.
That's what you meant.
Yes. Game 4.
Yes.
4 was their most complete. Well, other than this one.
Yes, game 4.
I was thinking you said 6. That's what I might have done to it.
So I think that, listen, this Pacers team is good. I know, listen, the revenge factor matters. Although, not everyone on this team was on the Knicks team last year, so I don't know how much they care about revenge. But this Pacers team is good. They're better. It's going to be very easy for Knicks fans to lean on, well, if we were healthy, we would have beat them last year. Well, that was last year. This is this year. So I think the Knicks are the better team. I think the Knicks should win this series, but it's not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy, and it's going to come down to game 7 again.
Man, how many of you guys out there will sign for a game 7? That's gonna be cool.
I will.
Game 7.
The theater of that? Oh my goodness!
To go
and
to
we'll be here.
I don't want one. I don't want a game 7. But I've watched this team for 82 plus 12 is 98. 98 games. This is that's who they are.
82, 12, and then preseason.
Yeah, like it's the same way I told you. Why was my nervous level on a 1? because I said they're going to win today because that's what they do.
When everybody's doubting them.
Yeah, and when everyone when they have a chance to close out a series, listen, they'll be up 3-2.
Yeah, right.
They'll be up 3-2 in the Pacers, and they'll go to Indiana and get clapped.
And then people will be like, it's over.
But what if this is a situation where, to take what you're saying, everybody thinks this is going to be a tough series, and they respond to do something that you don't expect them to do, but for the whole series, and they sweep them. I don't see them sweeping.
I will be
happy to be wrong.
You really want to speak a sweep into existence?
No, I just want somebody to say it. I'm just trying to be messy here. I just want somebody to say it. Like, I'm like, where's Gaza Zone now here predicting the sweep? Where's he at?
Yeah, we pissed him off. He left.
Why is he angry?
Because I was looking at his chat. We were talking about the minutes thing with Tibbs, and we're not giving Tibbs credit.
Him and Size 9 got mad about the Tibbs stuff. They think we hate Tibbs because we brought up that he was.
If y'all had stayed,
they don't.
You would have seen.
They don't
listen.
That's fine. We don't need to spend time on this.
The Church of Tibbs is very, very, very strong.
And this is after we said Tibbs is a very good coach. Also, you should probably look. Jalen Brunson tripped over a cameraman. Like, shit happens.
Yes, shit happens.
What I'll say to this, we'll wrap this very quickly,
and I'll make my prediction.
Yes. You guys don't have to seek validation in everything. The team won. They're in the conference finals for 25 years. It would have been irresponsible.
Yes.
Of me or anybody here to not ask Bryan about Tibbs leaving the starters in for that long.
And I'm sure Tibbs will be asked at the press
conference.
Somebody,
you know why? Because any good journalist worth their salt would ask him that.
It's journalistically responsible.
Yeah, so it's not, I didn't bash him. Well, I did. We said it was ridiculous that he kept it, and I still feel that way. Nothing has changed. Me saying that's ridiculous doesn't mean I think I've given him his all flowers.
It's not unfair. It's not unfair.
Not unfair.
Like, that's the whole point of that's the job.
If you want us to just wave around the blue and orange pom poms,
that's what some people
hand
want.
out the blue and orange.
That's what a lot of people want.
Roses.
And there are shows for that.
But then, see, that's my thing. If you want that, you can't get mad if we're not out here doing what y'all mentioned in some of those other shows they do. You can't get mad. You can't have it both ways.
Yes.
You pick your way you want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want that, that's fine. But don't expect this. And we say one thing that's critical. It's like, oh, they hate the Knicks now. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, to your prediction, just say that you're going to say just piss the people off more. Pick the Pacers in 4, and that'll piss some more people off. There you go.
I don't think this is going to end in 4. I'll caveat. I will use the weekend to legitimately. I'm going to do a deep dive, look at a whole bunch of stuff, matchups, data, all that stuff. But just knee-jerk reaction after this series ended. My knee-jerk reaction, my lean, if you will, we'll call it a lean, will be Knicks in 7. We'll see if that holds, but it'll be Knicks in 7. I really don't. Like, I'd be stunned if this goes anything below 6. It has that feel of a series. Like, there are some things that I have questions about as it relates to both teams, right? So the top end talent, I think the Knicks have the advantage there. I think the Knicks have the best player in the series. I think they have the best closer in the series, but also Indiana's really good at closing, and they have really good players throughout. I have a lot of matchup questions. We talked about Mikal potentially guarding Tyrese Halliburton. Who's going to guard Pascal Siakam?
I knew you were going to go there.
Who's going to go? And here's the thing that I had questions about as it pertains to this series, but Kristaps Porzingis was not healthy. He wasn't able to make Karl-Anthony Towns pay. Miles Turner is going to be standing outside from 27 feet, doing what Kristaps Porzingis could not do, wasn't healthy enough to do in this series. And if he makes shots, how are the Knicks going to adjust to that? The adjustments to the adjustments are going to be so fascinating to watch because both coaches, these are two of the best coaches in the NBA. Rick Carlisle and Tom Thibodeau, like, these are two of the best coaches in the league. They're both going to have counters to each other. It's going to be a chess match throughout. And ultimately, like, the pace is going to be an issue because these games are played every other day.
Yep.
Every other night. So will the Knicks have to go 8 deep? Will we have to see someone like Precious Achiuwa? I actually think could have an interesting role in this series because of his switchability.
He can switch everything.
Like, that's one of the guys I think should be considered for the 8th spot before even a campaign, before Landry Shamet. I think this could be a Precious Achiuwa. Like, you give him a look by game 3 or something along those lines. Because I don't know if Tibbs comes out the gate with like an 8-man rotation, but Precious is a guy that I would look at. And then just the shooting. The shooting is going to be a big part of this because Indy likes to run up and down the court. They're going to be able to get to their corner threes. And how are the Knicks going to be able to, when they slow the game down, actually get to their corner threes? Josh Hart, you mentioned him in transition.
Yep.
He's going to be super important, not just his scoring, but his playmaking as well, and obviously rebounding. And rebounds are going to be big in this series. Like Karl-Anthony Towns, rebounding wise, this is going to be bigger than I think even his scoring in this series, because Indiana, like Miles Turner, is not an A-plus rebounder for a center. So I have a lot of questions about how this is going to unfold. I think Andrew Nembhard is going to be a problem, but I also think Mikal Bridges offensively, he could be a problem. The consistency is a question. Jalen Brunson's ankle, Karl-Anthony Towns' thumb, and OG Anunoby's hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
Those get time to sort of recover.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see where they're at Wednesday, because one of the concerning things for me was the Knicks had all that time to rest, and then we come back in the playoffs and Jalen Brunson's still nursing an ankle.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like that's going to go away anytime soon. But I think, unfortunately, how this may work is like the healthier team might just win this series by the end of it, because that's just kind of where we're at with the sport at this point. But I hope it's a great series. I hope it's a fascinating series. Can't wait to do the watch-alongs. And I think we may be here for 7 games.
I mean, more games, fun, hopefully not too stressful. Knicks took 2 out of 3 against them this season, blowout win in the home opener. I was at that one. And then the last one, they smacked them in Indiana. I know Cat had 40 in that game, if I recall. Yeah, he had 40 points in that game and was giving it to Miles Turner in that one, if people remember. So that also was a game where Precious Chua started. I was just looking at that. Precious Chua started. I want to say it.
Did everyone play for the Pacers in that game? They had to. I feel like they, because this is the thing about the regular season.
Yeah, everybody played. No. You know what I remember? I misspoke on that. He did not cook Miles Turner. He was cooking Thomas Bryan. I remember they didn't have Miles Turner in that game. Okay. And Thomas Bryan, who actually had 18 in that game, but he did cook him.
He's not bad, but he's a backup.
Yes.
Right. So there was no Miles Turner in that game. So yeah. Look,
I think Cat can cook Miles Turner. But I kind of think Miles Turner could cook him back.
Can cook him back from the perimeter. Yeah, it's a matchup where he's going to have to be locked in defensively. I think this whole Knicks team is going to have to be locked in defensively. So we'll see how they do.
It's going to be great.
But this was a good one. Shawn, Hardie.
Yes, sir.
1-0.
The biggest 1-0.
Who would have thought you bring a Yankees, Ravens, and Tottenham fan in here, and he would have some good vibes.
By the way, the final was what? They won by 38?
Yeah.
I think the point differential was Celtics plus 35 before this game. So I think the Knicks ended up getting the point differential after this.
Hey, man.
By 38,
starts at that long.
by 38 is bigger than any win they've had in this series put together, and the Pistons series probably put together also, or something close to that.
Hey,
it's crazy.
You got the big one when it counted. We're going to sign off. You won't see us for a couple of days. We'll be back Wednesday night, 8:00 p.m. tip. Game 1, Knicks versus Pacers. We'll be here. We'll let you know who the guest is. Huge thank you to you, Shawn, for coming through and rocking with us. This was really fun. We appreciate you. The people can check you out on Knicks Film School. Yes. Casual Fridays with you and Jeff.
Yes, Casual Friday with me and Jeff J.
Jeff J. Putting out for you. Jeff, we're trying to get you up here. We might have a couple of Jeffs next round.
That's a fact.
Up here. Come. Jeff has to come up here. We got some other people still haven't been up here. Andrew Claudio, we got to get up here. I've been trying to get Andrew up here. So we got to get some KFS family up here. So, we got some more people coming in the next round. Shawn, you're always welcome back, man.
Appreciate it. I'm more than happy to be back.
Even though, you try to come at me for switching teams.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't have any regrets.
Yo, I respect that. Bryan, I respect that. Hey, and yeah, look, hey.
He's like, and what?
And he admitted to being an asshole Yankee fan.
No, I said Yankee fans are assholes. I'm not an asshole Yankee fan, but Yankee fans are assholes.
But you're a Yankee fan.
He rooted for,
but
not all, because he rooted for the Mets to beat the Dodgers. So that's fine.
Okay,
that's not every Yankee fan would.
He was nice. Shout out to all the people that made this look possible and rock with us for all these hours.
Yes.
Producer Nikolai Jackson, Tommy Hogan, and our great editor has been cutting all the clips, putting them out there. Wesley Splain. Wes, I did not mess up your name this time. I messed it up the other day. I apologize for that. Shout out to our crew out in the field, Olivia Cilio, Corey Porter, doing things at the Garden. I'm sure they are among the sea of crazies on 7th Avenue right now. We're going to peace out. Everybody, enjoy your night. Be happy. Be grateful you got Tom Tibodeau as your head coach. Don't be angry about the win. And here's what you shouldn't do tomorrow or on Monday. You don't got to look at them other shows that might hate on you. You know where to come. Check it out. New York Got Game. You can check out Knicks Film School. You could do all that good stuff. You don't have to do any of that. Keep the vibes good this weekend.
Yeah.
Here's what I also have to say. Everybody out there, Mets are going to take 2 out of 3 this weekend. Then I'm going to be up in Boston to see them beat the Red Sox. So, we're going to continue those good blue and orange
Shawn ain't
vibes.
hearing that.
I just have to say that. For all the Yankee fans out there, you got your one game this weekend. But you know what's about to happen in the next 2 games. It's going to be a solo special. That's all tonight. Shout out to all the Yankee fans out there, especially this man right here to my left, Shawn Hardie. For Shawn Hardie, for Bryan Fonseca, I'm Dexter Henry. We'll catch you next week.
Yes.
New York Got Game Live, Knicks Watch Party for Game 1. Tap in with us. Peace, y'all.
Be safe this weekend.
Be safe, Yankee fans.